Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Laura FM Laura, Castle FM Cape Coast, and Radio Max Takoradi. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Minority Leader gave strongest hint that boycotting parliamentary sittings is just the beginning of activities they'll roll out to fight government persecution of its members.
It's just the beginning of series of activities that the NDC minority will be taking.
Meanwhile, Parliament passes law allowing the cultivation and use of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes after it was earlier struck out by the Supreme Court.
Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 is deemed read the third time and passed.
Also, in today's edition of our Floods of Trauma series, we head to the Shanti region communities of Ohrim and Sewa, where residents have abandoned their homes following flooding there. In business,
General Agricultural Workers Union expresses alarm at the neglect of the fisheries sector, leading to the high cost of fish products on the market. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
Also coming up, we'll hear from business magnate Sir Sam Jonah, who says he's disheartened by the number of health professionals exiting the country on a daily basis.
It is disheartening to read and hear in the media the massive exodus of Ghanaian health providers, especially our nurses, to seek greener pastures.
We have details as it calls for innovative ways of returning such brains into the country. Later in the news, we'll take you to the eastern region town of Enum and tell you the story behind the prohibition of keeping dogs.
The reason we don't keep dogs in this town is because our deity guards the people with his own dogs.
I am Amisi Yamche Thompson. Details shortly. Minority Leader in Parliament, Cassiel Ato-Forson, has made it clear that boycotting parliamentary sittings in solidarity with their colleague is the first in a series of action they will roll out to compel government to stop its vile persecution. The Asin North MP, Jachi Kwesen, is currently standing trial of allegations of perjury and forgery. Dr. Forson also mentioned that the position of the minority will not change course until justice is served. He was speaking on PM Express.
This is our first sign or first activity that we are doing. There are so many other things we are going to do in the coming days. We may escalate it to another level. I won't take you through that. In as much as they want him to go to court on a daily basis, we will also boycott and attend court with him on a daily basis until there's a change. There are times that it may be more than a boycott. It's just the beginning of series of activities that the NDC minority will be taking.
Also, the minority leader wants a public sitting on the leaked audio aiming to remove the Inspector General of Police, George Akuffo Dampare. He's calling for a forensic examination on the matter.
We want the terms of reference to include forensic examination of the tape. We can engage experts for us to find out if that statement is indeed coming from that COP, whoever they call him.
So you want this sitting done in public?
In public, and it should be starting soon, as early as tomorrow, if possible.
As in cameras allowed into the sitting of this particular
Exactly, and we want all the individuals whose names were mentioned in the tape to be present. And we'll play this and ask them whether this is their voices.
Cassiel Ato-Forson is minority leader in Parliament. We stay in Parliament where the House has passed an amendment to the Narcotics Control Commission Act after the Supreme Court struck out Section 43 of the law as unconstitutional. Section 43 empowered the Interior Minister to grant license to an entity to cultivate a small quantity of cannabis in Ghana for industrial and medicinal purposes. The Supreme Court said because there was no debate on the floor on that section, it was null and void. The Speaker of Parliament and the Interior Minister took on the court for that order. Parliament has now amended the law and inserted the same provision back into the law, paving the way for cultivation and use of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes.
Motion that the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 be now read the third time. Minister for Interior.
Right Honourable Speaker, I move that the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 be now read the third time.
The question is that those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honorable members, the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023 is deemed read the third time and passed.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin there. Now, business magnate and Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Sam Jonah, has described the exodus of health professionals exiting the country as disheartening. He says the development is unhealthy and requires that government employs innovative ways of keeping such brains in the country. In furtherance of the attainment of the universal health coverage, he was speaking at the maiden matriculation and graduation ceremony of the Esiman Nurses and Midwifery Training College.
It is disheartening to read and hear in the media the massive exodus of Ghanaian health providers, especially our nurses, to seek greener pastures abroad. These are our heroes abandoning ship for better opportunities. As a nation, if we are to reverse this trend and meet the goals we have set for ourselves, then we need to take a critical look and devise innovative solutions to meet the challenges we face. We cannot simply afford this terrible exodus.
Says Sam Jonah is business magnate and Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. Living in a perennial flooding community can be very distressing. There have been many instances where flooding and stagnant waters have led to the loss of lives and property. In today's episode of Floods of Trauma, Nana Boakye Yadom visits Ohim and Sewa in the Ashanti region, where residents have abandoned their homes.
Each year, flooding causes more deaths than any other hazard related to thunderstorms. It wreaks havoc on development infrastructure and increases human casualties all over the world. In the Ashanti region, Ohim and Sewa are known as flooding communities. Residents experience heavy flooding anytime there is a downpour. Adjoa Tichiwa and Mary Owusu are residents of Ohim and victims of floods in the community. They narrate the difficulties they go through anytime there is a downpour.
Anytime it floods, the Yenasu River is unable to house the flood water, allowing it to get into my house. We would realize everything is wet, including our mattresses.
And so Banachi side you speed the pants. It's one Yania and Pebe and far, and a midjania a booming sem.
I broke my arm when my house got flooded. The flood waters are heavy, so while escaping, I twisted my arm. We plead with the government to do something about this.
And that was Nana Boakye Yadom's report there. Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting that the ECOWAS Community Court of Justice has thrown out a suit against the government of Ghana, challenging the propriety of a gold royalties monetization transaction arrangement, popularly referred to as the Ejapa deal. Our legal affairs correspondent Joseph Akable has details and joins me with the details. Joseph, what does it say there?
And so this was a case that was filed by 3 anti-corruption groups: Transparency International, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition. They dragged government to the Commission's court in December 2020, seeking an order to halt the Ejapa deal. But the court has dismissed the case, upholding the arguments of the Attorney General. The detailed reasons of the court are yet to be made available.
Thank you, Joseph, and definitely be following up on that one. Now to Tech Thursday. Getting water from the ground is capital intensive and laborious. Climate change has also worsened the reliability of these groundwater systems. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is therefore employing artificial intelligence to predict water availability in the ground. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has more for Tech Thursday.
Now, according to the principal investigator, Dr. Cyril Boateng of the Department of Physics, the project will build an AI-based system for groundwater which can be accessed by the public through their smartphones and computers.
We want to create a system where you can go to a website, just put in your location, and then the output you receive will tell you, okay, if you drill a borehole to 50 meters, 70 meters, or 100 meters, whatever the case may be, you will get groundwater in this location. Possibly in the future, we want to extend it to the point where you could even just check what will be the quality of water that I will get in this area. Or is there possibility that the water will be polluted, maybe because there's a factory near you and all that.
Let's take you to the town of Enum where there are no dogs.
In the eastern region town of Enum, you may never hear the barking of a live dog. If you ever do, it may either be from your television or an audio recording. Moving around the town, you will find cats, goats, and other animals. But for dogs, no way.
As for me, I would have preferred to keep dogs because they can be used for security at home and hunting. But our elders are insisting we go by the instructions of the gods and we can't do anything about it.
What lay at the heart of this intriguing custom? Kofi Osai, the revered Asafwache of the Nimfa division in the Num traditional area, explains.
The reason we don't keep dogs in this town is because our deity guards the people with his own dogs. He dislikes the barking of other dogs who may see him patrolling the town at night and prefers to operate in silence without attracting any attention. That is why community members have been instructed not to keep dogs in this town.
And you heard Samuel Imbua's report on dogs, and that ends the bulletin. In our top story, Minority Leader gives strongest hint that boycotting parliamentary sittings is just the beginning of activities to be rolled out to fight government's persecution of its members. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
You know your Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman Omani. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Okay. If I leave work now, I can beat traffic, get takeaways for dinner with the girls, and be on time to pick up Sam and his mom from the hospital. Proud to belong to ABSA.
We know that life is go, 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 and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. That's why with ABSA's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Get things done simply with our digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
Life's battle during retirement are not won by the strongest. Sooner or later, those who win are those who prepare for it. Ensuring your future is your responsibility to your family and loved ones. Progress Trustees, a company that guarantees a cheerful life of retirement for both formal and informal sector workers. The Progress Occupational Pension Scheme, the Progress Provident Fund Scheme, and the Progress Personal Pension Scheme helps you achieve peace of mind during retirement. We also provide administration services for employer-sponsored schemes, including staff welfare schemes seeking to outsource their day-to-day administration of their second-tier occupational pension and third-tier provident fund schemes. Start the journey to your envisaged quality life during retirement by contacting us on 0504-368-048 on our website www.progresstrusteesgh.com. Progress Trustees, a joyous retirement begins here.
Home is a reflection of who you are, so you need a wide variety of colors, patterns, textures, and styles to personalize your space so it feels like home. Visit the Orca Deco Superstore on Spinkters Road today.
Charlie, that be the sound you hear when things make hot. I'm sure this is not battery, just cash flow. Laja no day. It is safe to say we are all facing challenging times. We are all wondering how we are going to lighten our financial burdens. Nowhere cool, but don't worry. With a little help from your trusted bank, Societe Generale Ghana, be fine. Societe Generale Ghana is making all its customers happy with the Yatiso Loans promo. In fact, SG Ghana customers and even non-customers who are on the controller and accountant general payroll can enjoy access to our amazing discounted loans. Don't waste time. Get your loan today. Step into a branch or call 0302-214-314 to get the ball rolling. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, promotion ends on 7th August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Don't you worry. Just be happy. Don't you worry.
Pay attention, all my Africans and African Americans in the diaspora, plus my white brothers and sisters. What if I told y'all the most trusted real estate company in Ghana, Sukasa, would like to take y'all on a nationwide tour, highlighting prime real estate and investment opportunities. Sukasa builds affordable luxury homes with 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Come get the real value for your money, plus they have very convenient payment policies with 100% guaranteed cash back. This fully gated or grants and communities include malls, cinemas, and all social amenities, plus 24-hour security. All you gotta do is sign up for the tour for a measly couple $1,000 and come see what could be yours in real life. The African dream is alive. Contact Sukasa on 030-296-0865 or 055-369-7886 at Sukasa GH on all social media platforms. Email info@sukasa.com.gh. The Sukasa experience is also bringing on board a bunch of other property developers, which means patrons get a variety of options to buy from. This is powered by Government of Ghana, Beyond and Return Secretariat, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Works and Housing, Diaspora Affairs, the Office of the President, British High Commission, and the UK Chamber of Commerce. Media partners, Joy FM, City FM, Peace FM, Business and Financial Times, Graphic Online, and many more. Sukasa, building on trust.
Come with me. Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And the 6 a.m. news brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. So you know that a poorly maintained car engine can age faster. That's why we've offer specially formulated quartz engine oil with age-resistance technology. It's a breakthrough innovation that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. Choosing quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your vehicle and engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz, keep your engine younger for longer. Time now for the Joy Business Report, brought to us by Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Akbafu.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How about you?
I'm great.
It's been a tiring week already, but hey, we're here. Yesterday I got home after almost 10 p.m.
Oh.
There was huge traffic in town. When I left here after 7, yes, I got
because
stuck
of
in
the
traffic.
rain?
Yes, I got stuck in traffic, so I got home a bit late. But hey, for God and country, we're here. But today we have a very important conversation. Now, in 2020, for instance, we're told that there were some 24,000 new cancer cases in Ghana, with 15,000 people dying as a result of cancer. Now, COVID-19, the much talked about COVID-19, did not kill 15,000 people in Ghana. Officially, we don't have those figures. So, if cancer kills 15,000 in 1 year, that's scary.
That's scary. That's really scary.
Globally, 10 million people die from cancer annually. About 10 million people. The question is it curable? Does early detection help? This morning, we're having a conversation about cancers here on the Super Morning Show.
What's even more scary is that young people.
Exactly.
Young people are getting cancer.
Young people are getting cancer.
Usually you think it's for the older folk.
And, they're getting liver cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. So we'll have a conversation about it. We'll look at cancers that affect men, 1, 2, women, 3, children. Even children get cancers. But the good news is that if detected early, it's curable. So how do you detect it early? How do you know that you have any form of cancer? That's a conversation we're having right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. This morning we'll be joined by our friends from the Ghana Medical Association. They're bringing a team of experts to help us understand all of these issues here on the Super Morning Show. Now time for the Joy Business Report with Darryl Kwao and the team.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up, General Agricultural Workers Union expresses alarm at the neglect of the fisheries sector, leading to the high cost of fish products on the market. Also coming up, economist Professor Peter Quartey links marginal adjustment in June inflation rate to policy inconsistencies by government. Plus, Tullow Oil set to commence first oil production from the Jubilee South East field before end of the year, a move expected to significantly increase total crude oil production and taxes to the state. Details coming up. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. First up, the General Agricultural Workers Union has expressed alarm at the neglect of the fisheries sector, leading to the high cost of fish products on the market. The government statistician yesterday pointed out that the fish component of food inflation keeps rising, contributing significantly to the overall inflation rate. Now, speaking to the issue, the General Secretary of the union, Edward Karewe, said though there are viable policies on paper to revamp the fisheries sector, it is yet to be implemented.
Even though we are now making efforts to have fish ponds where we can deliberately breed fish for ourselves, that has not yet caught up with us. And if you see the level of destruction that we have done to our rivers, if you take the cumulative effect, you will see that the opportunity for fish production has been drastically curtailed by this effect. All our rivers, except a major few of them, who still have marine life, who still have life existence, most of them have been dead. And so you can't get fish from all those ones. So cumulatively, it has a serious effect on our fish production. And it's not surprising for me that we are having fish production declining.
That was Edward Karewe, General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union. Now, lack of coherent fiscal policy measures by government have played a significant role in the marginal increase in inflation rate. That's the view of economist Professor Peter Quartey. Inflation rate for the month of June went up marginally to hit 42.5%, with spikes in food prices acting as a major contributor. But Professor Peter Quartey says government could have managed the situation well to control the rate of inflation with appropriate policy measures.
The marginal increase in inflation reflects the effects of the increase in taxes that we saw during the first quarter, as well as increases in utility tariffs. And we also seen instances where food production has not increased as much as one would have expected, given that the support for inputs, fertilizers, etc. Has not been forthcoming that it used to do in a couple of years ago. So all of this are affecting food prices, and we are seeing its effects on inflation. Of course, we also have imported inflation in the areas of non-food items that are imported, given that inflation generally is rising globally, and with the depreciation in the cedi, it will certainly have some knock-on effect on local food prices as well as the prices of non-food items.
You had economist Professor Peter Quartey. Now, another economist, Professor Lord Mensah, has advised government to use the media budget to critically assess Ghana's taxes to help generate the needed revenue for the state. His comment coming at a time there is pressure on government to use the budget to abolish some taxes deemed to have outlived their usefulness, like the COVID-19 levy. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Mensah expressed doubt about the introduction of new taxes, warning that would rather affect government's own fiscal policies.
Probably on the revenue side, it is expected that there will be some recalibrations. There are some agitations and calls that the COVID levy should be removed, and I foresee that it will be recalibrated to another form of tax. It may not necessarily be new taxes, because looking at the squeeze as far as a typical business and then the ordinary Ghanaian is concerned, and looking at how inflation has wiped out purchasing power, introducing more taxes will further deepen the wiping out of disposable income. So existing tax will be maintained, but then I'm looking at the possibility of recalibrating the COVID levy.
Economist Professor Lord Mensah. Turning to the energy sector, oil exploration firm Tullow has announced it will commence first oil production from the Jubilee Southeast field offshore Ghana before the end of this year. This was captured in Tullow Oil's trading statement and operational update released to investors. There is more in this report.
Tullow Oil, in its trading statement, maintained that the Jubilee Southeast project, which is expected to start soon, will help turn its fortunes in the coming months. This is because the new wells that are coming on board will also help increase the daily production from the Jubilee field to more than 100,000 barrels a day before the end of this year. Tullow Oil now pegs average daily production on the Jubilee field at around 28,000 barrels, but is projecting significant increase in the coming months. The oil exploration giant disclosed that these developments will commence before the end of this year, with 3 producers and 1 water injector. Tullow has also assured that together with its partners, they will be embarking on more drilling in the Jubilee area, adding that they have identified more drilling areas. One of the financial side, Tullow Oil numbers also showed that it is indeed on that recovery path in terms of profits and revenue, as it has also taken steps to deal with recent debts on its books.
And that was a Business Desk report. Now, stakeholders in the upstream sector have expressed worry over the slow rate of renovation of the Tema Oil Refinery. The concern raised after government pledged to support Sentio Oil Refinery, which aims to produce 5 million metric tons of petroleum products per annum. According to him, or according to the executive director of the Institute for Energy Security, government has invested about 1.3 million cedis in the Sentio Oil Refinery last year, yet the refinery has nothing to show for it. He has been speaking to Joy Business.
The kind of support government is giving to Sentio, which same is given to Tema Oil Refinery, because over the last 1 year, government functionaries have visited this Sentio more than 3-4 times. We've not seen the same with Tema Oil Refinery. However, we want to believe that government is not only supporting Sentio so that the disadvantage of Tema Oil Refinery, and we also support Sentio and any other refinery that means good for the country. Now we're talking about toll and the current arrangement that government is looking at leasing this facility to private hands for almost 6 years.
All right, you had the executive director of the Institute for Energy Security. Just to correct, government has invested 1.3 million cedis in a Tema Oil Refinery in the last year, yet the refinery has nothing to show for it. That's the point. Executive director of the Institute for Energy Security, Nana Mwisi the 7th, was making. So let's turn to the commodity market for you. Crude oil now trading at $80 a barrel after increasing from yesterday's trading. Gold selling at $1,957 an ounce after going up marginally. Cocoa gained $7 to open trading at $3,339 a ton. Now, the redevelopment of the Ghana Trade Fair Center is likely to be completed in about 5 years, as many investors have shown interest in the ultra-modern facility. According to Chief Executive of the Trade Fair Company, Dr. Agnes Edu, the board will be engaging more investors and developers who take up separate structures as part of the entire establishment. She spoke to journalists at an investors conference in Accra.
3 to 5 years from now, we hope to engage various developers who will come and join us and also develop. So that's the timeline we are giving all our investors. But like I said, I've been very inward in my projections because we know that in this world, anything can happen. So borrowing that anything like COVID can come and sidetrack us again, I think 3 to 5 years is fair to say that the project can be built. Building our core mandate facilities. Our mandate is trade promotion, trade exhibition. We do all the fairs to promote Made in Ghana. So what we are building here is our modern standard facilities. You know if you're Ghanaian, you know trade fair has fallen into disrepair over the decades.
You had Dr. Agnes Edu, who is Chief Executive of the Trade Fair Company. Now, former Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Osei Akutu, has called for the development of other tree crops. He's of the view that investing in smallholder farmers to drive the development of tree crops such as rubber, cashew, shea, mango, and coconut could potentially earn the country about $12 billion in revenue. Dr. Akutu spoke at a press conference in Accra.
We've been financing our development through debt, borrowing locally and externally to support our development. And no country can develop with that kind of strategy. So if it hasn't been working, then we have to look inside to see what resources we can generate. And of course, those resources are just below the soil because it has the potential of earning this country anything up to $12 billion after 6-7 years of implementation. So we believe that if Ghanaian farmer is given the full support, they can help generate the foreign exchange that we need through this Tree Crop Development Authority and also through our traditional food crops like maize, rice, and the others.
You had Dr. Osei Akutu, who is former Minister of Agriculture. Let's turn to the currency market. This morning, the dollar going for 11 cedis 73 pesos on the forex or retail market. The pound going for 15 cedis 5 pesos, and the euro going for 12 cedis 60 pesos. And before we go, let's do our Investor Eye episode for today. We'll tell you how some people can use pyramid schemes to deceive investors and take their money. Here's Emmanuel Mensah-Pia, who is Director in charge of Risk Management Department of the Securities and Exchange Commission.
With the pyramid, they ask the investors themselves to go out and scout for more people to come into the investment. So you bring 5 people, I bring 5 people. If 20 of us bring 5 people, they have 100 new people in their system to scout.
And that's the Joy Business Report. Thanks for listening, everyone. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. The Super Morning Show continues with Winston. Do stay tuned.
Yeah, Akwafu.
Yes, sir.
So, the city, how is it performing?
Charlie, 11 cedis 73 pesos to the dollar. Yeah.
Okay, it seems to be around that,
It's been around that.
Yeah, for some time now.
For some time now. So,
okay. Let's just hope that, the city, appreciates, because we need that. We need that. The fuel prices, I've always been telling you.
Ambassador for fuel consumers.
It affects everything. But have you checked the inflation rate?
Yeah, we saw a marginal increase of 0.3% to hit 42.5%.
And have you seen things that have been, pushing it up and, issues of national concern?
Charlie.
I have seen that. There's one that, I'm sure a lot of my brothers will be very happy.
Well, there's a
concern
about fish. I also think tea products. What else do you have there?
Oh, you see, when it comes to tea bags, for instance, which is imported, 109.6%. Dog meat.
Hey, Imbura.
102%. But that's not all. Tomatoes, 71.8%. Even palm wine, palm wine, food, local, 70%.
Palmy.
Yes, palm wine.
But how is the price going up? I mean, what's changed? Or people are just taking advantage of that?
You've asked a very important question. Unfortunately, I'm just looking at the statistics as shared by the Ghana Statistical Service. They did not tell me what changed.
Palm is imported, or yeah.
But the man who is preparing the palm wine,
he's just taking advantage.
No, he's not taking advantage. His source of livelihood is dependent on the palm wine. So in his pricing, he would actually look at how much he can sell it so that he can make a living.
Yeah. So
and also, yes.
People have to survive, right?
People have to survive, and you have to look at the demand and everything. I mean, so around that time, there's, herrings, smoked fish, local, 82.3%.
Why?
Yes. And a lot of things have gone up.
I think people are just being unreasonable.
No, well, there's an issue with pricing within the informal sector. Last time we were having a conversation about it because I assisted somebody in pricing, her food, and realized that if you're not careful sometimes, you just would increase. So maybe I can't say I've increased it. But if you put pen and paper down and you write, you probably would have a different view. But we'll have this conversation someday.
Yeah, we should.
Thank you very much, Darrell Kwao. Pastor Darrell Sechu Kwao. Time now for our inspirational song for today, brought to us by Duraplast Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. And our inspirational song today is Wash the Tears by Grams Morgan. In these times that a lot of things are not going well. Don't worry at all. Good morning, Fred Smith.
Hi, good morning to you, Winston.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. You can't complain,
You can't complain. You say we should play Rastafarian songs.
Oh, yeah, because there's victory for those who campaigned for the passage
of this stereotype.
Narcotics. Oh, no, it isn't. Actually, it's the purposes for which
there are a lot of non-Rastas who are also very excited.
People in industry.
Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning, Winston.
See, it's not about you, so this is about,
No, but there's the opportunity to make an application.
Yes.
So, like, I'm a businessman. I want to go into cultivation of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes.
Yes.
You apply to the interior.
That's what I'm saying. In industrial and medicinal
you
purposes.
Get the license to
yes. We are not talking about people using it. So
yeah, definitely.
Let's just clarify
it's
that.
not for your personal use.
Yeah.
So
not recreational use. That's
not
how
for
it's
recreational
phrased,
use.
yes.
Yeah,
for medicinal.
Not for
use.
recreational use.
So those who were pushing for it have explained this time and again. So I think that now that we've had the law passed, it will help us to do what we said we wanted to do with it.
Okay, let's get into our Drive Safe campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality. So avoid all distractions, keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on at night. And that's how you drive safe. So Toyota says get ready for an electrifying adventure with Toyota Ghana, because they've unleashed an exhilarating offer. For a limited time only, come and experience very attractive prices for the following vehicles: Starlet, RAV4 Adventure, Fortuner Diesel and Land Cruiser 300 series, and you're assured of a 1-year free service package for any of these vehicles that you buy. Time is ticking and this opportunity won't last forever. Visit any of their showrooms in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Tamale, Takwa, Takrady, or call 0302-910-204 for further information. Credit purchase is also available through special arrangement with their finance partners, Toyota Superior Quality. Let's learn how to say it right, brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done. You say?
So yesterday, Fred and Joseph, somebody asked me why you say a university and not an university. In fact, my direct response was, of course, you would say a youth group and would not say an youth group. And he says, well, but, university has a U. And that got me thinking about one thing. Many of us would see the letters of the English language, that's in the alphabet, the letters, and conclude that the vowels, as we're told, translate into sounds. I would explain. So university is transcribed with a Y sound, which is a semi-vowel functioning as a consonant, just as youth. So in that case, the U that you see with the spelling, when it comes to its pronunciation, it is different. So once the pronunciation starts with a consonant or a semi-vowel, it is no longer a vowel. Now watch this. The English language has 26 letters, but has over 40 sounds. From the letters, we say there are 5 vowels, but in the sounds, there are 25 vowels. So just so you know, in saying it right, don't always focus on the spelling as you see it, but focus also on its transcription, which influences your pronunciation. So if you're saying it right, it's always a university, because that word starts with a consonant or a semi-vowel and not a vowel, as you probably may think. Great, so that's how you say it right. Let's get into Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment and furniture at affordable prices. Now, they've introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. What this means is that 1, you can shop simply by logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com. 2, you don't have to physically come to any of their branches, which makes it hassle-free. 3, they deliver, to your homes and offices within a reasonable time, free. And they offer, free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. But terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks. Let's get into the newspaper review, and that is brought to us by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different, and Syntex Tank, strong, tough.
I want to start with the Daily Graphic, which has, as its banner headline, ECOWAS Court OK's Ejapa deal, comes with a photograph of the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah Dame. And the story, I'll give you a bit of that. The ECOWAS Community Court of Justice has thrown out a suit against the government of Ghana, challenging the propriety of a gold royalties monetization transaction arrangement, popularly referred to as the Ejapa deal. 3 anti-corruption groups, Transparency International, Ghana Integrity Initiative, and the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, dragged the government to the CCJ in December 2020, seeking an order to halt the Ejapa deal. it was the case of the applicants that the JAPA deal was dominated by politically exposed persons and also violated the right of Ghanaians to have permanent sovereignty over the country's natural resources as provided under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. And when you recall how controversial this became when it came to light that the government was proceeding with this JAPA deal, some clarity today helps the situation, I believe. Now, other stories: 422 busted for engaging in illegal digital lending. Kolibu team performs first kidney transplant.
Wow, that's good news.
Good news. Let me tell you how that turned out. The team of health professionals at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital has performed kidney transplants on 2 patients, the first of such operation by a local team in the country. The Ghanaian team, including specialist doctors, nurses, and anesthetists, performed the procedures on July 4 and 5th this year. And the patients, both of them males, are currently recovering at the facility. Their donors, who are females, are also doing well and have so far been discharged.
Great, that's good news.
When you hear great news like that,
yes, I mean, on a Thursday morning, you should be happy.
Yeah, you should be. Another one here, which will be mixed. Parliament legalizes weed cultivation for medicinal. Because there were people who were opposed to it.
I thought Fred reviewed that story earlier.
Years ago when I was talking about the fact that there was a huge market for the cultivation, industrial use and use for medicinal purposes for marijuana or cannabis. One of my friends said, does Amwan smoke? Because he's been talking about this for some time.
I mean, for me, it raises a very interesting question, and for students of constitutional law, about the relationship between the various arms of government. And the point has always been made that where the courts exercise their authority, it is important for the legislative body also to do same with due process of law. I mean, as the yardstick for doing that. And that's what we saw play out in this instance. Parliament passed the law in the first place. The court took the view that that particular section 43 was inserted in a manner that is unconstitutional. Parliament is okay. That's fine. The government has taken the bill back to Parliament and the certificate of agency, and Parliament has passed it. So back to square one, the law is in force again.
Well, it has to do with just a clause where the Supreme Court,
yes, that specific clause, yes,
that wasn't properly dealt with, and that has been resolved. So I'm excited that Parliament and the Supreme Court have been able to find common ground in this situation, and yes, we have our law. This is a worrying situation now. Binduri SHS shut down over lack of food. Winston.
Oh my goodness.
So the students, we understand, have been protesting over the lack of food. They said they were hungry, so the school has been shut down. This Binduri, is in the Upper East region. You know how things have happened in the last few weeks over the food suppliers and their payments.
Fred, this issue, it's one that we've had before. We've had this conversation. I mean, we started having this conversation in 2021. I remember we had that conversation here. And at the time, a lot of people felt, even the president made the point that people were, running a campaign against free SHS. But this is the reality. Over the weekend, I met some parents, and this is how they termed free SHS. Expensive SHS. And not free SHS. Because your child goes to school and, for 5 weeks will come back home, because we've actually played with the whole double track. We no longer want to do double track. So at every point in time, we have that 1 year is not in school. Okay, so if Form 1s and 2s are in school, Form 3s are not there. If Form 3s are there, it means either the Form 1 or Form 2 will not be there. And they're having to spend a lot of money providing provisions for their children. Yeah. That is the reality today. Look, we have been talking about this. Let's do targeting. Let's find out, for instance, those who can afford, let them pay. I do not understand why, for instance, boardings should be free. That's luxury. And that is why people argue that free SHS is discriminatory. Why is it a case that when I am a day student, you pay 700 or 800 cedis of my fees, and somebody gets his fees paid at 1,500 or something? If you like, give all of us a cheat.
Yeah, but the reverse that was done was even to allow the day students access to the meals as well.
Lunch.
You know, that was also done.
That's also
yeah. I mean, generally, I personally, on a personal level, I don't subscribe to the targeting because of how scholarships have over the years been abused in this country. I mean, I went to school with colleagues who have never seen a cocoa farm before. And this is a story that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yet they are the biggest beneficiaries of that. I think that, yes, I agree with you on the point about the boarding and all those things, that we should get to the level where the community schools, the day schools, the community day schools, it should be the thing, because that eliminates a lot of cost.
Yeah.
The boarding fees and the feeding, I think
that's pay and come.
Yeah, I think that's the chunk of the cost that is burdening the project.
But you see, there's a child in, say, who today, the objective is to get to Infantipim or St. Augustine's in Cape Coast. So, you know, it's the level of these schools and the interest those schools, from the students
those
themselves.
Schools, number one, they have better facilities.
Exactly.
And so the thinking is that if you go to Infantipim, you are likely to go to Legon, or you are likely to go to Ashesi or UCC. That's the thinking. You know? So if we're able to bring schools to a certain appreciable level, especially the community schools, the community day senior high schools that were supposed to be the communities that some ended up
today,
in areas that were quite far away.
If you go to Rwanda, people are leaving private schools for public schools because the public schools are doing well.
Yeah.
What you need to do is to provide teachers and facilities for all secondary schools.
Yeah.
Okay, look, the idea of a boarding system, fantastic. But I'm saying, if you want to enjoy the luxury, go and pay your fees.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some people who genuinely may not be able to afford boarding. We can look at it on that basis. You're very right with the Cocoa, the Cocoa Board scholarship, because there are people who were beneficiaries of it who had never been to a cocoa farm, whose parents were never cocoa farmers.
The parents have not even seen cocoa farms.
Of course, all they did was to say that, oh, our family has cocoa, and that was the end of it. But I'm saying that in this current form, the students, I met a friend who has, I think 3 children in secondary school, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. He was telling me that he has a child in Wesley Girls, for instance. He had to buy, he said, oh, I bought provisions at around 4,000. The wife said, were you the one who went to the farm? It was more than that.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Yeah, but the solution is in what you said about the boarding situation.
Yeah.
So Fred makes the point. I mean, if you want to attend Addis Adel in Cape Coast and you are not from that area, then you should be ready to pay for the boarding there.
Yes.
On the other hand, those who are in that area, it means that if they want to still do the boarding, then they would have to pay.
Yes.
In which case, it will mean that if you're a day student, you can simply just go to school and come back home.
But what stops government from providing, say, we have 16 regions, providing, say, 3 or 4 schools that are at the highest level that everybody would like to attend?
That was what the community day schools were supposed to achieve.
Yeah, so that in your own community, there's a school that you're able to attend.
Fred.
If you decide that you don't want it, but for the sake of branding or a certain pathway that you're looking for, so you want to travel outside your region to another, then you have to bear the cost.
Before we get to the daily guide today, if we check the last performance, we've seen a lot of schools, and in St. James and in a Bono region, they've been doing very well when it comes to WASSCE exams. I mean, is it one of the schools that we talk about all the time?
St. James, yeah.
Yes, they're doing very well all the time. So, the reality today is that, a lot of these schools, yes, they make a lot of, the hype is there, but others are doing very well.
Before you go, road crashes and deaths reduced for the first half of 2023. And there's a discussion to set the minimum wage for footballers in Ghana.
Let's do quickly the front page of the Daily Guide. ECOWAS court dismisses a Japan deal suit. We brought you details a short while ago. MPP clears 10 for flag bearer race. The 10 includes everyone. Winston's good friend, the dark horse, has been cleared as well.
The workaholic Akoto tops all.
Wata.
Dark horse.
Yeah. Wata.
And energy expert Kojopoku is in there.
Oh yeah. Raymond Akwe's good friend. Yeah, he's also in there. Over 400 illegal online loan operators arrested. Opuni dashes to Supreme Court again. And Article 97 horns NDC MPs. The backstory has some sports story. Lionel Messi lands in US and Kane keen on buying move is also there. So that is it for the Daily Guide. I'll quickly do the business finder. The front page says 17 defunct government entities to be sold, liquidation listing on GSE, strategic investment also planned for the rest. This is not the first time I'm hearing this. Damongo, best tourism destination, is according to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who is the Member of Parliament for the area as well.
The Business and Financial Times says over 400 persons arrested in illegal lending apps raid. Inflation for June inflation rises marginally to 42.50 and restructuring cocoa bills. Local banks pushed for favorable terms. And CIMG wants marketing at center of economic recovery efforts.
Great, so let's get into the online news review now, brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. So what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just stop up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel SP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 is a high-grade fuel sold at same price as normal fuel, and Goyle Diesel SP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. With over 440 stations across the nation, join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle, Yedium. So let's get to myjoyonline.com and review decision to boycott Parliament. Rashid Draman advises minority, and we are only asking for investigations. Why are you worried, Eric Opoku to NPP over leaked tape? Okay, so you know that tape between that allegedly between a senior police officer and a member of the governing party. CityNewsroom.com says Parliament passes NACOC bill granting licenses for cannabis cultivation. Minorities boycott of Parliament, a breach of standing orders. That's according to the Speaker, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagby. On CNN.com, North Korea says it tested an advanced solid-fueled ballistic missile. And people are actually alarmed. Let's go for the BBC News now, brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us, and Log On Voice, experience seamless business management.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
Home is where your heart is, so comfort is key. Find beds, bed sheets, sofas, cushions, fluffy rugs, and anything else you need to get cozy so it feels like home. Visit the Orca Deco Superstore on Spinkters Road today.
Are you a corporate organization, e-commerce business, individual or student looking for a trusted courier company where you can track your package and receive SMS alerts to keep you posted? At IAS FedEx, we move your documents and parcels with care to the destination of your choice. With offices across the nation, we happily deliver your package to your office or the comfort of your home. With the assurance of safety and affordability giving you peace of mind, IAS FedEx has your package in good hands. Call us on +233 501 605,000 or +233 501 631,000. IAS, licensee of FedEx.
No matter your water needs, Sintex has it all. Sintex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Sintex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex tank. Syntex tank, stress-free. Syntex tank, reliable. Syntex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough.
Today at 8:30 GMT.
So, I'm just looking at Dr. Kofi Konadu Apreku. I can govern Ghana with not more than 40 ministers. And yesterday I also heard Kwabena Japan saying that 19 cabinet ministers with their deputies. That takes us to 38, and then 16 regional ministers takes us to 54. Not more than 54 ministers under his administration. Now it looks like for many of for these persons who want to be NPP flag bearer, they're all saying the things that a lot of Ghanaians have been saying over the period, and that makes you ask the simple question. So how come the NPP is not implementing all the things, the beautiful things that they've been talking about? I mean, listen to them. And they're telling you about how, they want to cut down the size of government, how they want to check expenditure. The very things that we've been talking about, the very things that have, pushed this country into going under an IMF program. Because, hate it or love it, part of our problem is that we borrowed over the period too much and engaged in a lot of expenditure that we cannot account for today. So why is it that all of a sudden, these persons are telling us that, these are the problems with our system? Why are they not telling their party, or somebody isn't listening to them? I mean, I would want to know. I want to have them to have that conversation. Whether it's the case that they're making these suggestions and their party is just not listening to them.
Mm-hmm. So those people include even Dr. Bawumia, who is at the very top of government. And there were suggestions in the media not long ago that his ideas, and if you listen to Bawumia, you know what he says, he knows his stuff. So why is it there? And the country is still struggling the way it is, and you are giving the impression that he has the ideas, but nobody's listening to it. Why?
I mean, it's a big issue, and it comes back to the point. I think the answer can be found in another thing that Dr. Konadu Apreku said himself. He believes he wanted opportunity to serve in government, just like all the other people. So that's how come we end up with 110. Because other people too also believe that they are competent enough and they also want to be in government as well. And so the president is more or less under pressure to give all of these people opportunities. And the point is that these things that these individuals are saying, the same thing was said by Dr. Bawumia and the president during the campaign. In the times past, they said they will run a lean government. They complained about that. They said they are going to be effective, efficient. Eventually, when they took over power, they told us that, it's not about the size, but it's more about the results that they bring in. We saw how that has ended up eventually. And now we have some of these individuals who had the opportunity to be at the seat of the table, now making a point again that, look, when I come in, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then when you ask them directly whether those ideas they put forward, did they even put them forward in the first place, and why they were not accepted, then they can't give you a forthright answer. I think anyone who is seeking to lead the government or the country, especially from the stock of the governing party, must, as a matter of urgency, in terms of the initial remarks, explain to Ghanaians why the ideas they are expressing were not taken on board by the current government. I think that is an important line that must be drawn even before the conversation starts.
If they shared it at all.
And you see, you made a very important point. The fact that today we're being told, the vice president says, I have my own vision. Okay. Now, you've been part of this government, and so it's important we know. Did he share that vision with the government? What was the response of the president when he shared this vision with him? Because the president told us that he was bringing him on board because of his, economic prowess. The fact that he's the economic wizard, Wizkid. He said, the fact that he was responsible. In fact, according to the president, he said Dr. Bawumia was responsible for a lot of the achievements under J.A. Kufuor.
As deputy governor.
Mm-hmm. So he was bringing him to come and do that. Now, the question is, what did he tell the president and the president didn't listen? It's important that sometimes we find out the thing so that we can have that discussion. What was it? Was it something that would have helped the country that the president turned down? And it's also important that, you see, for all these persons, like you stated, the NPP criticized the NDC's appointment and said we're going to run a lean government. Came 110 ministers. When we complained, Akufo-Addo said we should wait. and that after 4 years we'll be able to know what he has done. Before the end of 4 years, he had increased the number, because then we had 6 new regions where their ministers took it to over 120. And then after 4 years, what did he do? He reduces it, because then he realizes that the number of ministers were just not helping. Okay, this is not a case of saying that, we had achieved everything, because there was still Zongo and inner cities development. There was still social development initiatives. There were still the development authorities. There was still some need for
Even now,
monitoring.
there are still ministers of states at ministries where there are substantive ministers.
Yes, you don't need those things.
So with deputy ministers also,
You don't need them.
But we don't have to take this, what's the expression, hook, line,
And a sinker.
sinker. We don't have to take it that these people who are suggesting all these things really want to do it when they become. So I've heard suggestions that they want to scrap agric ministry. I think that's very deadly. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You need the agric ministry. Maybe you want to merge agric and fisheries. We don't need agric and fisheries to be separate. At best, we can have a deputy minister who will be responsible for agriculture at the agric ministry. But we need agric. Food is the basis of everything that we're doing in the country. All the cries going up and down, it's about food. Get food on the table first, even before shelter. So we don't have to say that, all of these suggestions are good. So it's possible that they would have proposed this to the government, and the government says, well, I can't take away agriculture from my administration because the people need it. Even with agri, we are still struggling with food supply. Recently, our food suppliers have been picketing the buffer stock company. Why do you think that's happening?
Yeah,
because food is becoming a big issue, and we need the agri ministry. End of the day, it was the agri minister who stepped in for this matter to be resolved in some way. And so, yes, we can interrogate some of the proposals they are bringing, but we need to know how these proposals get to government and what government will make of those proposals, whether they are indeed good, whether they will help the economy to be strong.
So, I'm just looking at Dr. Kofi Konadu-Apreku. I can govern Ghana with not more than 40 ministers. And yesterday I also heard Kwabena Japan saying that 19 cabinet ministers with their deputies. That takes us to 38, and then 16 regional ministers takes us to 54. Not more than 54 ministers under his administration. Now it looks like for these persons who want to be NPP flag bearer, they're all saying the things that a lot of Ghanaians have been saying over the period, and that makes you ask the simple question. So how come the NPP is not implementing all the things, the beautiful things that they've been talking about? Listen to them. And they're telling you about how, they want to cut down the size of government, how they want to check expenditure. The very things that we've been talking about, the very things that have, pushed this country into going under an IMF program. Because, hate it or love it, part of our problem is that we borrowed over the period too much and engaged in a lot of expenditure that we cannot account for today. So why is it that all of a sudden, these persons are telling us that, these are the problems with our system? Why are they not telling their party, or somebody isn't listening to them? I would want to know. I want to have them to have that conversation. Whether it's the case that they're making these suggestions and their party is just not listening to them.
Mm-hmm. So those people include even Dr. Bawumia, who is at the very top of government. And there were suggestions in the media not long ago that his ideas, and if you listen to Bawumia, you know what he says, he knows his stuff. So why is it there? And the country is still struggling the way it is. And you are giving the impression that, he has the ideas, but nobody's listening to it. Why?
It's a big issue, and it comes back to the point. I think the answer can be found in another thing that Dr. Konadu-Apreku said himself. He believes he wanted opportunity to serve in government, just like all the other people. So that's how come we end up with 110. Because other people too also believe that they are competent enough and they also want to be in government as well. And so the president is more or less under pressure to give all of these people opportunities. And the point is that these things that these individuals are saying, the same thing was said by Dr. Bawumia and the president during the campaign in the times past. They said they will run a lean government. They complained about that. They said they are going to be effective, efficient. Eventually, when they took over power, they told us that efficient. Eventually, when they took over power, they told us that, it's not about
And so you heard Busta Rhymes with Dangerous. And then you actually heard what we can classify as Ghana's own version, VIP. Still out right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's a Thursday and we're throwing back. But you know the times I had, and one thing on everyone's mind these days is cash sikaso. Whether it's money to pay the bills, or for your kids' school fees, your home improvement, or your building project, Societe Generale Ghana's got your back. The bank has launched the biggest loans campaign of the year, the Yatiso Loans promo. SG Ghana is offering you discounted interest rate on its loans, both customers and non-customers, including staff on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll, can enjoy access to heavily discounted loan rates. Yes, they say nowhere cool, but SG Ghana is here to lighten your financial burdens. Get a loan now by visiting any of the bank's 42 network outlets or call 0302 214 314 today. As always, terms and conditions apply. Remember, promo ends on the 7th of August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. So are you looking for a freight forwarding company to handle both your inbound and outbound shipments? If yes, then look no further than IAS Feathers, which offers a wide variety of international freight services, which include air freight, sea freight, baseless, container load or full container load, customs clearance and documentation. Now, international operations link more than 200 countries, supported by extensive domestic network in all markets, and offer a range of fast and direct freight services to suit your needs. We have dedicated staff who have in-depth knowledge in our local customs clearance processes and procedures. IAS offers pre-finances freight pickups up to an agreed threshold for our clients. For terms and conditions apply. Please contact us for free consultation on international freight services and customs clearance processes. Call us on 0501605000 or 0501631000. With IAS Ghana, your freight is firmly secured. So make big savings, sign on to Fantastic Four, Republic Bank, Visa Cards, Business, Infinite, Additional Classic. Enjoy great discounts from our partner merchants, global Visa partners with cashback rewards and interest-free days. Win a staycation at Aqua Safari, dinner for two, and loads of consolation prizes in the Republic Bank Tap to Pay credit card promo reloaded. Live the soft life, we got you. New card holders are also welcome. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we're the one for you. So do you know that your company, school, church, association, union, foundation, civil society organization, partnership, business name, and professional body can be sanctioned or stricken off the register for failure to file your annual returns or renew your business? Well, don't be a victim. File your annual returns, renew your business to be in good standing with the Office of the Registrar of Companies. Now, the fee for filing of annual returns is 90 Ghana cedis per year, with 600 Ghana cedis flat penalty rate when in default. So proprietorships should renew their business name by dialing the short code *222 and follow the prompt to make payment on the Ghana.gov.gh payment platform at a fee of 60 Ghana cedis per year. And the renewal of partnership is 90 Ghana cedis. Professional bodies are to renew each professional member of their professional body at a fee of 30 Ghana cedis annually. Call us on 0302 666 081 or 0557 653 That's on WhatsApp or Telegram. Or let's get interactive on social media at ORC Ghana. You can visit us, visit our website on orc.gov.gh or rgd.gov.gh. ORC, here to serve. So you know that some people spend their lives trying to be rich, others are born that way, not because of what they have, but because of where they come from. Choose the fresh mineral water that's made naturally rich by the same African soil that made you. Voltic, own your richness. So Fidelity Bank has fantastic news for people who live and work at Oyarifa, Ghana's largest privately owned bank. Fidelity Bank has opened a brand new branch at Oyarifa. Now we're closer to you than ever. Visit our new branch today at Owusu and St. Junction, Oyarifa, to enjoy a suite of top-notch banking services and experience superior customer service in a delightful and inviting environment. We look forward to serving you. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. So are you tired of losing track on all your business transactions and pilferage? Let me introduce you to Log-On Voice Management System software, the ultimate management system software suite for all kinds of businesses. We have Log-On Voice POS, which is perfect for retailers and service-based businesses, offering supplier account management, inventory tracking, sales monitoring, and expense management, including waste product tracking. We also have the Log-On Voice SS for your savings and SUSU, which is designed for all forms of saving and SUSU businesses. It allows customers receive instant text alerts about their account balance, while agents collect deposit from customers, ensuring accountability and real-time monitoring. Last but not least is the Log-On Voice KTR, the software specially designed to replace all your manual record keeping for mobile money merchants. It initiates daily amounts, records transactions, and tracks reports effortlessly, saving you real time and money. Log on to logonvoice.com and start selling and generating receipts in just 2 minutes. Contact us on 0302823672 or WhatsApp us 0593039670 for customized software solutions. Find us adjacent to Zenith Bank on Bachuna Spinktest Road. Log-On Voice, experience seamless business management. So why betting yourself to build when you can buy and move into a 3-bedroom executive house located at Tema Community 5, built with the finest building materials and supervised by top-notch professional architects with flexible payment terms. Welcome to a breathtaking development from Selma Court, located at Tema Community 25, just about 55 minutes drive from Kotoka International Airport. Now, this ready-to-move-in 3-bedroom development comes with beautifully fitted kitchen, spacious dining hall, and master bedrooms, large sitting area next to the guest washroom, and spacious compound. We give you a whopping 20% discount if you reserve before 30th September 2023. You can reserve with as low as $5,000, the CD equivalent. Don't miss out to grab this golden opportunity to be your own landlord today by calling our hotline 0249 399 932, 0249 399932, or visit our website selmacourtghana.com for further information. So this morning here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, our focus is on your health and our focus is on cancers. Okay, so globally we're told that in 2020, for instance, 10 million people died from cancer. 10 million people died from cancer. In Ghana, 15,000 people died. And that's more than the number that died from COVID-19. So just think about it. But did you also know that if detected early, it could be cured? Do you know what it is that is going on with you? Do you know what signs to look out for when it comes to any form of cancer? Just stay with us here on the Super Morning Show because we're going to be telling you more about that. Time now for Nutrition Line, brought to us by Nestle. And Nestle offers good food for a good life.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo All-in-One for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids All-in-One. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, good morning. We're on the move and nothing's going to stop us. This is Nestle Nutrition Line. I'm Jackie Ankra, also known as Na Ajilisoa. I hope you're well and strong and ready for another educative episode. This morning, we continue our oral health in the Life Cycle series, and we're going to talk about babies and children. All humans have two sets of teeth. Baby teeth are the first set, which begin to appear when the baby is about 6 months old. Baby teeth get replaced by permanent teeth from 6 years onwards. When a baby loses their baby teeth too early, the permanent teeth can drift into place. The permanent teeth can drift into the space, and in the end, the child could have crooked teeth. Therefore, you need to start oral health practices as soon as your baby is born. A few days after birth, you should begin cleaning the baby's gums with a clean soft cloth or moist gauze pad. Between the ages of 1 to 3, you should brush their teeth twice a day with a very small amount of fluoride toothpaste. From the age of 3 years, you can begin to supervise them brush their own teeth twice a day. You should advise them not to swallow the toothpaste because of the risk of consuming too much fluoride, which can lead to some health problems. It is also recommended that by the time a child is a year old, he or she should have their first dental checkup to take away the fear of seeing a dentist and make the dental visit an annual event. Time runs out quickly when we're having fun, does it not? I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Thank you for your time. Do please stay in touch and let's keep working together for a healthier, longer, happier life. It's a partnership, you and us. So call us please, 0302 517-020 or 0302-211-880, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 120001, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. Weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. To WhatsApp, SMS or call 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., use these numbers please. 0593 84 5697, 0593 84 5649, 0593 84 5708. You can also email consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. I wish you a beautiful day. May good things and good people find you wherever you are. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids all-in-one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Wanna experience
OneXBet jackpot is here with weekly massive prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is place your bets on any sports game and stand a chance to win. Simply register at onexbet.com.gh. Use promo code JackpotGhana and place your bets. OneXBet is your key to great victories. Feel like a winner. OneXBet.
Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. Time now for the birthday messages here on the Super Morning Show, brought to us by MTN Everywhere You Go and Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, strong as a group, as close as a partner. Good morning, Fentio Tahiru. Fentio.
Morning. How are you?
I am fine. How about you?
I'm doing very, very well.
Okay, let's see whose birthday it is today.
I can tell you for sure that it is the birthday of one of our very own, Elizabeth Marvel. That's the mother of Lawrence de Graft Beidou of the Joy Sports Desk. And he's sending a very wonderful message to his mother. And I share in the message.
Okay.
And he says, may God continue to bless you and keep you safe for the years ahead. Thank you for all the times you've been an inspiration to me. And we also here at Joy Sports say, thank you for giving us Lawrence de Graaf Beidou.
Great, and it's your special day today, Yasmin Abdul Nasser. From your family, they say you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and more love than you will ever know. Happy birthday to you. May Allah continue to bless and protect you. And this one says, happy birthday to Cheryl Ejeunye Achuvi Fianu. I never thought that I could find someone as special as you. I and the children wish you divine blessings in your new age from Seth Godwin Fianu. And it's a happy birthday to the most wonderful and awesome mother in the world, Madam Emilia Hajay. And may God grant you good health, long life, and more wisdom from your boys, Osei Genesis and Isaac Frimpong. And also happy birthday to you, Justina Dansua Edu. Life is worth living knowing that you have a trusted friend, sister, and a loved one beside you. Happy birthday, love from Cash Farmer and baby Jidula. This one says, happy blessed birthday to award-winning contractor, Ghanaian contractor, Humphrey Awulete Williams, chairman of Oswald Investments. And finally, happy birthday to Mr. Charles Asiedu Dankwa, wishing you long life and more grace from your wife, Rosamond, and the children. But this one says, happy birthday and blessed birthday to my keen love of my life and my very personal best friend. I pray that our good Lord will continue to care, protect, and provide for you. And this one says, may the grace and goodness of God, locate you this special day. Love you now and forever. Do have a great day from your dearest wife, the kids, David and Lois. It doesn't actually add the name of the person. K-Fresh. Anyway, but today is my sister's birthday. So Linda Esi Amwa, it's her birthday. So happy birthday to you, Linda Esi Amwa. From all of us in the family, your children, from the old man and the old woman, From myself, Winston, Dennis, Roslyn, and Edward, siblings, we say
myself.
Thank you, Tahiru.
Thank you.
We say happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Linda.
To Linda, your sister.
Yes, my sister,
yes,
my
yes,
big
yes,
sister.
Yes. Oh, big.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
I
see why you're very calming.
All my sisters are older than I am.
Really?
Yes.
You're number what now?
Oh, now I'm number 4.
Now you're number 4.
Yes.
Then before?
I have answered this question before. I won't go back. I only have one after me.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Sister Linda.
Yes. Let's get into the Sports Center now. And it's proudly brought to us by MTN. Everywhere you go. Standard Chartered Bank. Here for good. Allianz Life Insurance.
We secure your future.
1xBet. Your reliable bookmaker. And DSTV.
It's your moment.
But let's say a K to all those who celebrated their birthday today. So it's a K.
Yeah. Now to all registered 1xBet players, we have something interesting just for you. A reliable bookmaker has launched a Jackpot of the Week promotion. We've been talking about this for a long time. They have a unique opportunity now to get the weekly jackpot. Look for the conditions on the promo page. Complete simple tasks on that page and get the chance to win a lump sum. We also remind you about registration on the website or in the 1xBet app with the promo code GHJackpot to get a bonus of up to 2,650 Ghana cedis.
Well, so carrying multiple phones around, could be such a chore. Now the unsightly bulge in your pocket, the extra weight in your purse, the stress of switching from one phone to the other to pick calls. Now imagine being able to switch between different numbers on the same phone easily and seamlessly. Guess what? You can now go seamless with MTN eSIM and enjoy the convenience of connecting multiple phone numbers to one single phone or device. To check if your device is compatible, simply dial *#06#. Once you receive an EID number, it means your phone or device is compatible. Simply download my MTN app today to request your MTN eSIM and enjoy the sweet seamless life everywhere you go.
And have you heard about the Allianz for Life plan, Winston? Have you?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Yes, my Top for Life.
My Top for Life, that's right. It's an affordable life insurance policy that you can get wherever you are. Just dial *170# on MTN and select 5521 and voila! You and another life are covered for hospitalization and death. You also enjoy very low premium cashbacks every year and many more. Call Allianz Life Insurance on 0308-249-090 or visit our website on allianz-gh.com. It's Allianz for Life with the hashtag or the number short code *170# on MTN. Mato for life.
So do you lead a corporate business, a global subsidiary around the affairs of a small or medium enterprise? As a key decision maker in your business, we know that you want to make payments seamlessly and access real-time transaction data, whether you're at work or on the go. Well, Standard Chartered provides the digital key to help unlock your business potential. That key is Straight to Bank, a single access end-to-end digital platform that helps you manage the needs of your business on the go, view transactions, pay your business partners and government institutions through Ghana.gov, facilitate real-time payments and collections with the latest encryption technology and security. Elevate your banking experience today with Straight to Bank, our award-winning digital banking platform powering payroll, cash management, trade and securities. You can always bank on us. Kindly email premierservice.gh@sc.com. Sign up today.
That's right. Thank you very much, Winston, and good morning, all of you. Welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center with me, Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Coming up today, we'll be talking about how much money Ghanaian clubs are getting from the FIFA World Cup, and it's a lot of money from clubs who send players to represent the country at the World Cup. $6,000 to $5,000.
$565,000.
Yes, for Ghanaian clubs to share. And that's a lot of money among themselves.
That's more than 6 million Ghana cedis.
Yeah, we'll talk about. So we'll talk about that. Yesterday there was also the launch of the Ghana Football DNA, and they handled it like Holy Communion. Keto Kreku GFE president called it the most important document or the most important gift to Ghana football. We'll get into that as well. But let's begin with the biggest story of the day. Heart of Oak, Asante Kotoko, Steadfast FC, King Faisal, and Dreams FC, 5 Ghanaian clubs, will share $565,000 to be made available by FIFA for contributing players to the Black Stars' effort at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. According to information available to Joy Sports, FIFA will this morning release details of how much every one of the 837 players at Qatar 2022 will make for their various clubs. Joy Sports also understands that Hearts of Oak will have the highest amount, followed by Kotoko, Steadfast, King Faisal, and Dreams FC, and this money will come from 3 players who represented Ghana from the local league. Danlad of Kotoko spent a loan spell at King Faisal. Isahaku of Dreams FC's also, of course, spending some loan there from Steadfast, and ultimately Barnier also from Hearts of Oak. But for a breakdown of all of the details of the amounts involved, here's Gary L. Smith.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So, we got a whiff of the report last night that it will be released at 9 Central European time. So it's been released.
Yeah.
As at the time you're on air.
Yeah.
So, to nobody's surprise, Manchester City had the highest amount in the world.
Because they contributed the most players who spend the most time.
The most players who spend the most time. And remember, as you can see, Man City have even their players on loan went to the World Cup and did well. Some of their players on loan went into the World Cup and did well. The second team that has the most globally was FC Barcelona. But of course, in Africa, why it's important and why some of us, made the call for Ghana Premier League players to have an input at the World Cup is that, one, whether you play or not, once your player makes the final squad, the team gets money automatically.
$10,000 a day.
$10,950 every day.
That they spend at the World Cup. And even clubs that they spend some loan spell in the last year leading to the World Cup.
The last 2 years.
Yes. Benefit.
Now, just to give you an idea of why it's and how crazy it is, Egypt did not go to this World Cup.
Yeah.
Qatar.
Yes.
But because they contributed players through Zamalek and Al Ahly, they had more money than even Ghana.
Who were at the World Cup because they had more players from their clubs representing other countries at the World Cup.
So they had north of $650,000.
Let's look at the details of how much each of our clubs is getting, those 5 clubs.
Well, Hearts of Oak are the kingpin. They are getting $219,000.
And this is presumably because Barnier didn't spend any time on loan at any club. It was purely from Hearts of Oak. And he went to the World Cup as a Hearts of Oak player from the last 2 years up until the time he went to the World Cup.
Yes, that's it. Asante Kotoko got $200,000. Just north of $200,000.
And King Faisal.
So that's the interesting one everybody has been asking me about. Because they technically didn't have a player from there. But as you explained, in the last 2 years, they've had
the lad they're spending a season on loan there.
Yes.
So they also get to benefit.
So they benefit.
Yeah.
So they had $18,250. Dreams FC, $18,250. And then Steadfast FC were the third highest beneficiary. They had $109,504 as well.
That's interesting. And Steadfast benefiting because Fatal Isahaku was registered as a Steadfast player before he went to Dreams FC on loan. All that happened in the last 2 years. But the main club that benefited the most money from him would be Sporting Lisbon.
Yes.
Because that's where he was before he went to the World Cup.
So that's how it works. So the full story is on myjoyonline.com. Hearts of Oak, Asante Kotoko, Steadfast, King Faisal, and Dreams are getting just over $565,000 to share because of their contribution to Ghana's World Cup effort.
Thank you very much, Gary. And overall, $209 million has been shared to clubs globally for contributing players to the FIFA World Cup. And maybe Ghanaian players could receive more, or Ghanaian clubs could receive more than the $565 they got from the next 3 editions of the FIFA World Cup because of the national football philosophy. The GFA have launched the scientifically backed framework to guide the development of young footballers across the country. Keto Kreku is FA president and is confident the DNA will change the fortunes of this country's game.
Your agro has been taken into consideration. Your multi-system has been taken into consideration. And here we are today with the best gift to the Ghanaian game. the Ghanaian football philosophy, the DNA. We shall be looking at long-term success. The DNA will provide us with an identity and direction. The DNA would ensure proper pathways for our players, and here we are talking about player development. The DNA will clearly define our attractive style of play, and most importantly, it will also speak about our culture.
So the national football philosophy is the FA's grand step at redesigning the development of Ghana's youth footballers. Its launch, of course, follows the FA's unveiling of the Elite Talent Identification Program in October last year, and also the women's football strategy only weeks ago. But there are infrastructural deficits threatening the success of this particular program. Here is Bernard Lepert, the FA's technical director.
We know we have not the best surface, but we have to do the best out of it. So it's not important where you train, it's important how you train. Sometimes you get better technical players if you train on bad surfaces because your movement and your coordination is better. Everything depends how much you train and how you train. Nothing more. They need much more training sessions, much more repetitions, much more training in tight spaces that you can make faster decisions, speed of reaction, speed of action, speed of thought. This we have to take care of in the.
Yeah, so he says some things more fundamental than just quality pitches in this whole football philosophy. Training consistently, repetitions consistently, and what have you. So what about timelines? When does the Ghana Football Association want to begin to see results from the national football philosophy? Here's Michel Quenu of Joy Sports.
Clairefontaine, the National Academy of France, was launched in 1988, and 10 years later they won their first World Cup in 1998. 2 years later they conquered Europe by winning Euro 2000. In both 98 and 2000 there were players who were key: Marcel Desailly, Zidane, Lilian Thuram and Fabien Barthez. And then in 2000, Thierry Henry and Nicolas Anelka. Players all developed from Clairefontaine. When Germany introduced their new approach to playing football in 2000, led by their DFB, which is the German FA, it took them 9 years to win the U21 Euros in 2009. 5 years later, 6 players from that U21 Euro winning team were key faces to Germany's triumph at the 2014 World Cup. So how long will it take Ghana to start reaping the successes of the national football DNA?
Here's Assistant Black Stars coach Didi Dramani.
I will actually not even speak on dates. I would rather be speaking about the mindset. You know, you gave me an antecedent of what various countries did over the years. They accepted that there's a new way of life. They accepted that they need to do something deliberate. They need to be very consistent and they need to be very patient. Now, in Africa, what we are lacking is that we are talking, but we are not being very deliberate. We need to be deliberate, and today is the beginning of how to become very deliberate. So you need to do something very, very different, and that is the deliberation. It tells you that you need to begin to see something, and you need to be aligned with it. Everyone around the industry need to be aligned with it. Administrators, stakeholders, all the stakeholders that you can talk about.
Even more so.
Michel Quenu of the Joy Sports Desk with that report. Meanwhile, Ghana will today discover her opponents for the 2026 World Cup African qualifiers. The draw will be held in Abidjan, where the CAF Congress will take place. Ghana in Port 2 so could face either Nigeria, Morocco, Algeria, Senegal or Tunisia in the group stage of the qualifying series. According to the draw rule, there will be 9 groups of 6 teams, with all the group winners qualifying for the World Cup to be jointly hosted by the United States of America, Mexico and Canada. The 4 best 2 will then compete in a mini tournament, and the winner will make an intercontinental playoff. Let's wrap up with boxing. And over 100 boxers are competing in a national championship organized by the Ghana Boxing Federation to recruit new boxers for the country's 2024 Olympic qualifiers. Here's Nathaniel Atto of the Joy Sports Desk.
Many will be focusing on the day when Samuel Techi will mount the ring.
Now, Samuel Techi will be fighting in the light welterweight category, and he's supposed to face John Comey, who took that space. So there's a lot to look forward to in that regard, because remember that Samuel Techi is Ghana's only medalist from the last Olympic Games, because of which he will be the center of the attraction. There are key, elements of scoring that the judges will be looking forward to. But what is important for every boxer is that you need to just keep winning your bouts. Win the bouts and you're safe and good to go. That is according to the Ghana Boxing Federation.
That's Nathaniel Atto, boxing expert here at Joy Sports. Before we go, some tennis news. Spanish top seed Carlos Alcaraz moved into the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time and will face Russian third seed Daniil Medvedev in the last 4. That's all the latest from the world of sports here on the Joy Sports Center. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio.
Thank you very much, Fentio Tahiru Fentio, for joining us with the latest in the world of sports. But let's get interactive here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Social media messages brought to us by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, Ghana AIDS Commission. Test to know your HIV status and take steps to protect your health. Number 10 liver salt, a refreshing relief, and GTP Lifestyles. Let me ask you a very simple question. Does your existing salary account give you more? Is your salary in the right account? Worry no more, because the EcoBank salary account is here to help you open an EcoBank salary account today and enjoy free life insurance, which covers temporary and permanent disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and death. With the EcoBank salary account, you have the ability to save as you spend, free debit card access to loans and more. And the best part is you stand the chance to double your salary in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded from now till the end of July. So open an EcoBank salary account today by visiting an EcoBank branch or ecobank.com to open an account online for amazing benefits. Please beware of scammers who may contact you on this offer. Always visit an EcoBank branch or call EcoBank toll-free on 0800 003 225 for further details on the EcoBank salary account and the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. When we return after these messages, we bring you Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. We'll be right back.
Hey, this one got to an account. Why are you running? It's all about the EcoBank salary account. EcoBank salary account. Why? It gonna make me fly. I promise it will make your pockets rise. The salary account comes with many incredible benefits, like free life insurance, which covers permanent total disability, critical illness, hospitalization, temporal disability, retrenchment, and death. Also save while you spend, access loans, get free debit cards, and the chance to double your salary and more in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. It's starting from this May to July 31st, 2023. And there are so many other consolation prizes to be won.
Hey, no wonder my hand was itching. This is the perfect account for my salary.
So go ahead, open an EcoBank salary account today. You also stand a chance to win more than double your salary from 1st of May to the 31st of July in the EcoBank Double Salary Promo Reloaded. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is under the supervision of the National Lottery Authority under the Caritas Lottery Platform. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Reserve your executive premium plot at Dodua Hills today, located near Dodua Fire Service, and enjoy secured gated community living with swag, with facilities such as electricity, shopping center, gym and fitness center, tarred road network, and many more. Just pay your negotiable deposit for the Dodua Hills premium plot and spread the balance within an agreed period of time to own your executive hilltop property today. Please call us now on 0540-633-569 or visit our website on www.doduahillsgh.com for further details. Dodua Hills, your peace of mind, our priority.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. Time now for Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle, good morning.
How are you, sir? Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, I am very fine. God is taking care of me. How about you, Uncle?
Well, the same God is also taking care of me.
We thank God. We thank God.
Yeah. I think that looking at things, he seems to be taking better care of you than me, but that is fine.
Anyway, since you say so, I mean, once you say so, no doubt about that.
Well, it's a good place to be, isn't it?
Of course it is, Uncle.
Well, tomorrow, the second weekend run of I Like What You Like begins 7 o'clock for tomorrow, Friday, for those who want to avoid traffic, and also those who want to join us for the after show party. And then 2 shows on Saturday, 3 shows on Sunday. Winston will give you all the details after I am done.
Sure.
Next week, Thursday, will be 20th of July, which will be my 69th birthday. Towards that celebration, I am opening my life up to you and sharing with you very personal things that you may not know about me. I've always been an introvert and suffered a serious case of inferiority complex as a child, and that made me a very timid boy. As an adult, I think I handled being an introvert better, but as a child, it was devastating for me. I was raised in a community and at a time when everybody's business was everybody's business. Very few houses in South Central, where I was raised, had walls or gates. Everybody knew almost everybody. In that kind of environment, a boy who was an introvert and suffered inferiority complex was despised and isolated. Being a timid boy was simply unacceptable. But if all I had to deal with was the contempt of the community, I think I could have handled that better. But what people do not know is that most of us who are introverts hate being introverts. We admire extroverts, and we wish we could have their total lack of inhibition and their zest for life. But we know we can never be like them. Most of us who are introverts wish we could mix well in society and can lose ourselves at, say, parties and other public events and occasions, but we cannot because we live mainly in our heads.
Sure.
So in our minds, we are very lively and very outgoing, but outside our minds, we are petrified to even contemplate doing half what we were thinking and picturing in our minds. And because we can see ourselves doing it in our minds, but cannot do it physically, we end up hating and despising ourselves. So for instance, I may find myself in a social setting, say at a party. I wish with everything in me that I could go around chatting freely with everyone and generally being a part of the party. But I can only manage to sneak in and take the nearest seat and try to make myself as inconspicuous as possible. People who are observing me will conclude that I am either bored or snobbish or proud. What they would not know is that sitting in that place, trying my best not to be noticed, I would in my mind be imagining all that I would love to be doing at the party if only I could manage to come out of my mind and just do it, but I can't. So at the end of the day, I will leave the party in a state of emotional mess. I will spend hours after the party reprimanding myself and despising myself that I did not get to act as I saw myself doing in my imagination. That is the curse of the timid and the one with an inferiority complex. For those of us who suffer it, it is hell. The situation is compounded because people feel that they can heal you, and their way of doing it is to try to force you to come out of your shell. They do that sometimes by ridiculing you and embarrassing you, and they think that you would seek to avoid further embarrassment by coming out of your shell. They do not realize that being an introvert is not something you can simply shake off. It took me years to discover that this was not just my problem, that being an introvert was not a defect, nor is it a sign of inferiority. It is normal and another way in which human beings are made. I also discovered that being timid and being an introvert do not have to go together. Timidity is something that can be overcome.
Okay.
Being an introvert is not something, it's not because it is not a defect. But discovering that it was okay to be an introvert did not make the timidity and inferiority complex disappear overnight. The battle with that complex has taken a lifetime and is still ongoing. I received a great weapon in that battle, though, in the form of a Bible verse. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 says, quote, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-control," end of quote. This verse has been my battle cry in the fight against timidity and inferiority complex.
Okay.
Today, I am still an introvert, but I do not despise myself for being one. I still live mostly in my mind, but I have come to accept that as my normal, and I do not make any apology for that. But the biggest boost in my battle against timidity and inferiority complex came from the realization that if I had not been an introvert, I may also not have been a writer. Being isolated by the community and living in my head forced me to daydream almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Daydreaming gave me the ability to imagine realities and characters outside myself. And those are the essential skills a writer needs. I believe strongly that I'm a writer today because I was born an introvert. I'm a writer today because I live mostly in my head. What I thought was a disadvantage and a terrible hand dealt me by life has given me the privilege and the honor of serving society and my community. I still admire extroverts, but I accept that I am not one. And I also accept that it is okay not being one. Now, my focus is not to try to get rid of being an introvert. My focus is not in trying to become an extrovert. I know I can never achieve that. I can never be an extrovert. Instead, my focus is in appreciating that although I am not an extrovert, I am also created in the image of God, and I am okay and not defective.
Sure.
I still have to deal with rejection from society, though, but now it does not bother me. I know that I would have despised an introvert if I was not one. Now, if you're an introvert, then I say to you as a senior introvert, don't try to overcome it. Being an introvert is not something to overcome. And being an introvert is not something to be ashamed of. So just rock being one and live as full a life as you can in your own way. And if you're an extrovert, the chances are that this presentation will make no sense to you, but that is also okay. You don't have to understand. Just accept the fact that some of us were made this way by God, and it is okay. And I've already said that's my presentation for this morning.
Thank you very, very much, Uncle Ebowhite, for this presentation. But even if you are an extrovert, I mean, this would make sense to you because you get to understand introverts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to understand them. So it makes a lot of sense, Uncle. And thank you very much. Hopefully, we'll meet over the weekend. But, the Friday party. Uncle,
see you.
We'll have that conversation later. Thank you very, very much, Uncle Ebowhite, for joining us with Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. So, Roverman Productions, in partnership with Joy FM and the National Theatre, will excite you again with another brand new and hilarious Ebowhite play, I Like What You Like. So ever since Kwesi fell from Grace, Iris' wife, has had to take up the cost of running the home, but an unexpected announcement turns Kwesi's dreadful morning into a very exciting one and sets him on an adventure he's not ready for. Now imagine her frustration when wealth comes knocking and he's taking his time to answer the door. How will he be able to handle the stress and pressures of gold unseen? I Like What You Like is a test of integrity, faith, love, and honor. And the play comes off at the National Theatre tomorrow, the 14th of July to Sunday, the 16th of July. As follows: Fridays, 7 p.m., one show. Saturday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., two shows only. And Sundays at 1 p.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., three shows. That is Roverman 1, 2, 3. You can't miss a play. Rate is 150 Ghana Cedis. Tickets are available now via Koba short code *365 *535#. And at the usual outlets, front desk of Joy FM, Shell Shops at Tema Community 11, Airport, East Legon, and Dansoman. Total Shops at Bachuna and Hacho. And Frankie's at Osu. You can also visit the Roverman Productions pages on Facebook and Instagram, or call 0505 546 010 or WhatsApp 0505 546 030 for enquiries. Sponsors: Ebony Condoms, Gino Tomato Mix, and GCB Bank PLC. Communications partner: M Notify, and logistic movers Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Time now for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you, and McDan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and McDan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution. The General Agricultural Workers Union has expressed alarm at the neglect of the fisheries sector, leading to the high cost of fish products on the market. The fish component of food inflation keeps rising. Meantime, lack of coherent fiscal policy measures by government have played a significant role in the marginal increase in inflation to 42.5%. That's the view of economist Professor Peter Korte. Oil exploration firm Tullow has announced that it will commence first oil production from the Jubilee South East field offshore Ghana before the end of this year. And the International Monetary Fund's board has approved a $3 billion bailout program for Pakistan, which will immediately disburse about $1.2 billion to help stabilize the South Asian alien economy. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and McDan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. So, are you a government worker looking for quick access to financial assistance at the most competitive interest rates? Look no further, because CBG is offering you access to loans up to $250,000 and up to 72 months repayment period. For more information on how to access CBG's controller loan, walk into any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide, or contact us on 0302 216 000. Send an email to info@cbg.com.gh. Visit our website, cbg.com.gh, or on our social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for additional information. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you. And on Big Stories this morning, brought to us by Vodafone. Further together, latest from your partner for life. Belmonte by CPL developers the ultimate luxury experience. And Access Bank, your number one remittance bank. Access Bank, more than banking. Do you know that in 2020, about 10 million people died globally from cancer? So that means 1 out of every 6 deaths was cancer related. In Ghana, there were 24,000 new cases of cancer in 2020 alone, with some 15,000 people died. Now that's more than the total number of persons who died through COVID-19 in Ghana. But you know that this could actually have been reversed if they had sought early treatment. Did you know that when detected early, cancer is curable? That's the conversation we're having right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's a conversation about you, how you can detect cancer, and why it is so important for early detection and cure. So Vodafone Edim promo is finally here. Receive up to 20% of your money back in your Vodafone cash wallet when you recharge with 5 Ghana cedis or more. Nedim. And here's 2 more reasons to keep your conversations going with the Edim promotion. You can send credit to a friend. They too will receive up to 20% instant cash. Recharge with 5 Ghana cedis and more from your preferred short code, your Vodafone cash wallet credit transfer, My Vodafone app, or other preferred payment platforms. The higher you recharge, the more you get back. Keep reloading in the Edim promotion and win with Vodafone. Vodafone, further together. So welcome to Belmonte, where luxury meets comfort. If you're in the market for a home that combines class, convenience, comfort, then look no further than Belmonte. Belmonte is located in the prime East Legon area of Lagos Avenue, and the stylish Belmonte apartment offers first-class luxury and cutting-edge finishing. So whether you're looking for an executive studio suite, a cozy 1-bedroom apartment, a spacious 2-bedroom apartment, or a custom villa, we've got you covered. But that's not all. Belmonte also offers a range of top-notch facilities to relax and keep you entertained. So why wait? Take that first towards your dream home. Sign up for our 3-year payment plan and own your property today. Contact us on 0204 343 011 or 0204 343 015. Belmonte is developed by CPL. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Like I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you don't use credit transfer to your number or someone else. And now you be high tech, so you don't use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back into your Vodafone cash account. We'll reload here, but then you enter. Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office, or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from Latex Foam. There is so much choice, whatever your budget. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Welcome to Belmonte, where luxury meets comfort. If you're in the market for a home that combines class, convenience, and comfort, then look no further than Belmonte. Belmonte is located in the prime East Legon area of Lagos Avenue. The Belmonte stylish apartment offers first-class luxury and cutting-edge finishing. Whether you are looking for an executive studio suite or a cozy one-bedroom apartment, a spacious two-bedroom apartment, or a custom villa, we have you covered. But that's not all. Belmonte offers a range of top-notch facilities to relax and keep you entertained. So why wait? Take the first step towards your dream home. Sign up for our 3-year payment plan and own your property today. Contact us at 0204 343 011 or 0204 343 015 to learn more. Belmonte is developed by CPL Developers.
It's morning in Africa. It won't be bright for another hour or two, but the continent is already on the move. Trade is kicking up and spirits are high as the continent prepares to move yet another 1 million tons of goods to markets across the seas. It's the hour for making tea and coffee, of cotton bales, splitting wood, diamonds and metal boxes, and tall buildings going up. The train engines are revving up, factories are opening, and big undersea cables are pushing the continent alive. 4 time zones, 1 million opportunities, and vibrant young professionals 100 million strong. It's morning in Africa, and one bank is opening the door to endless opportunities. With seamless Pan-African payment and trade solutions and presence in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, we are Africa's gateway to the world.
Access, more than banking.
In partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, Roverman Productions present I Like What You Like, an original Ebo White play.
Hey, Kwesi Trumpet, what kind of misfortune follows you so much that when your rich auntie dies in the US, the only thing she leaves you is her ashes? Boy, you won't keep that thing in this household. Put it outside the gate and regard it as wakekeeping. Or you can use it for tea. Your here needs your share.
Well, his auntie named him a sole beneficiary to her estate.
I am his wife. How much is it worth?
Roughly $350 million.
What? Oh, Auntie Frida! Oh, Kwesi, we cannot leave her outside the gate. She will feel cold. Let us keep her on the dresser in the guest room and ensure she gets a befitting burial. Oh,
Shows at the National Theatre on July 7th, 8th, 9th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Friday at 7 p.m. Saturdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sundays at 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. Tickets available on the short code *365 *535# and all the usual outlets. 150 Ghana cedis. Sponsored by Ebony Condoms, Gino, GCB, and M Notify. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
A bank that supports you
a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish, your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG, we stand with you.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. On our arrival, we were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through an orientation on how best to enjoy the experience. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We saw zebras, sable antelopes, crown cranes, maras, silky chicken, emus, wallabies, deer, ponies, and so many animals. We watched the animals roam freely in their natural habitat, undisturbed by our presence. Our tour guide told us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing. Then we took a break to have lunch in the beauty of the open space. All of this fun and activities for a starting price of 250 cedis, and it's free for children below 6 years. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before our sunset dinner by the campfire. We've had a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait to visit again. Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
You know, I still haven't told my husband. I'm afraid of his reaction.
Oh, I thought you said you would try to disclose your HIV positive status to him on your birthday.
I wanted to, but never got round to it. It just did not seem like the right time to say it.
Don't you want him to go and test to know his status too?
Of course I do. I am just afraid of his reaction. I am afraid he will walk out on me and quit the marriage.
But you can't be too sure of that.
You know, the other day when he heard HIV in the news, he referred to it as a bad disease. And I know a couple of people whose partners deserted them because they tested positive for HIV.
But it is also important for him to test for HIV and start antiretroviral medication if he is HIV positive.
So what should I do now?
Why don't we ask your HIV counselor at the facility for advice? Come on, let us call her and find out how best to disclose your HIV status to your husband and also get him to test for HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ghana AIDS Commission.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, this is Kobe Mike. You're speaking from MTN office.
Kobe. How am I?
Abina, call me later. Abina, call me later.
I did deliver. I pass the doctor. I be like Terminator. I did deliver. I pass the doctor.
Abina, call me later. Abina, call me later.
Let's go.
There are basic things in life: water, health, okay, energy, education, okay, transportation. And the bad leadership has affected every part of it.
My business has dipped. The currency has depreciated. You can't even get it to buy. You can't pay our staff. You're thinking of laying off your staff. Now it's actually tough.
The total denigration of the office of the president, the total lack of respect that in bulk, in mass, individually, Ghanaians now experience when you talk about issues pertaining to governance, government, the president.
This thing that, you should show respect. The other man is stealing, he's killing you. Why do you have to show respect to him? In Brazil, what happened? If the young man called Sule Muntari was not brave enough to slap somebody, do you think we would have known what was going on? No.
For me, it was very reminiscent of the 70s during a Champions time, which were really bad times, where we all slept at the petrol station. So that's indication that, you really need to get up and talk about it, because we cannot, as a nation that deserves so much more, come to this level.
As I said earlier, the arrangement was that they should not come closer to this point. There's so much traffic because the road is virtually blocked. The protesters have virtually taken over the road, and the police are really not going to allow. I think they have arrested somebody who was resisting the police from doing their duty. Why is he getting physical at this point?
Nothing seems to work. Our salaries are the same, while everything seems to go downhill. Now the people have come out to protest to the government and asking government to do something, stabilize the currency, stabilize the economy. And what are we meeting? We are meeting the police, who are insisting that, they wouldn't let us go and present our views.
We want swift action. And so, if within a reasonable time we do not see change, we do not see results, we would gather again and embark on this constitutionally guaranteed right to protest. We shall do so till we see change.
The throwback.
The throwback. Put your hands up. The throwback.
Abina
Remember the Occupy Flagstaff House demonstration? That was in 2014, right? Yeah, 2014. Yeah, some bites from that. It's a Thursday, we're throwing back. And so we just thought it would be necessary to let you in on what people said at the time. What has changed? I don't know. Maybe you can help us have that conversation. Why don't you get onto Twitter, use the hashtag JoySMS. That video is on Twitter. Comment there. We'll come back, see them, and engage you on Twitter here on the Super Morning Show. But of course, we also get to share your thoughts right here on the Super Morning Show. Today our focus is on cancers. And look, you may probably say to yourself, well, I don't even really have any problem. When was the last time you actually did a check to find out your own conditions? But did you know, for instance, that if detected early, cancers are curable? Now picture this. From 2020, we're talking about COVID-19. We're in lockdowns and everything. At the end of the day, we lost over 1,000 Ghanaians, and we complained. Cancers kill more than that. So think about it. More than that are lost through cancers annually, but we just don't seem to care about that. Well, we on the Super Morning Show care, and this morning we want to tell you why you should also care and why you should take steps in protecting yourself, your health, and that of your family. Stay with us because we have the best of team, Dr. Hannah Ite, who is Senior Specialist Radiation Clinical Oncologist, Faculty Chairperson, Radiology and Oncology and Radiotherapy, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, President of the Breast Society of Ghana, Secretary General of the African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, and member of the Ghana Medical Association. You know what we're talking about. And Dr. Richard Salome is Acting General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association and member of the Ghana Medical Association. Dr. Hilda Mantibia Boy is President, Pediatric Society of Ghana and a member of the Ghana Medical Association. That's the team joining us to have this all-important conversation here on the Super Morning Show. We'll look at cancers that affect men, those that affect women, and those that affect children. But have you been to the Safari Valley Eco Park? Have you been there? If you realize, I've been telling you to, experience nature. Feel nature right here in Ghana. You don't need to travel anywhere to experience and feel nature, okay? You don't have to go to East Africa because right here in Ghana, Safari Valley Eco Park has introduced the Safari Wildlife Experience by creating an environment that fosters the harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife such as zebras, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Pentagonian mara, and many others, where everyone can come and experience these majestic creatures at a starting price of only 250 Ghana cedis, and it's free for children up to 6 years. It's only an hour's drive from Accra, and it opens from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Visit the Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. For more information, visit safarivalleyresort.com. Check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 0596 914394. Now, the Sukasa O'Granson Community's affordable luxury housing project is now rolling out its affordable housing units on sale for its 3-bedroom unit with an outhouse starting at $97,500 or its cedi equivalent, or its 4-bedroom unit with an outhouse starting at $195,000 or its cedi equivalent. We offer various convenient payment options. Our projects are presently at East Legon Hills and Ayimensa sites. We're located at Lagos Avenue in East Legon. Call us on 0302960865 or WhatsApp 055-369-7886 for your inquiries. You can also reach us via email at info@sukasa.com.gh and on our social media handles as SukasaGH. Sukasa, building on trust. And let me say good morning to our listeners and welcome our listeners listening to us on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. When we return after these messages, we get into the conversation. We'll be right back.
If you get LPG, let me see your hand. Who are that?
Mr. Menu, I'm not happy with you, cry.
Oh, landlord, what is it?
Me, what is the problem? How can you allow your wife cook with charcoal and firewood? Don't you know smoke is harmful to your wife? Don't you have gas?
Oh, landlord, me, I've been using charcoal since so.
You're not current at all. Now, every Ghanaian uses gas because it's safe and convenient. Just one matchstick, and you're good to go. Food cooks faster and the taste is retained.
Hey, landlord, be that.
You think I'm joking, eh? New rule, no gas, no accommodation. Even you just paid your rent, eh? And my friend, come for your money and leave my house.
Hey, landlord, if you make a mistake and you give me this money, I'm not going to move. I'm going to buy gas.
Like you will see.
Don't be left out. LPG is safe and convenient. This campaign is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and supported by the Ministry of Energy and World Bank. Contact our toll-free number 080-012-300 for more information.
Are you hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and 50% scholarships to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless opportunities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our October 2023 intakes. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Hello?
Hey!
I'm a far Charlie also.
My #1 international carpenter. I'm good, oh.
Nice one. Charlie, I'm trying to register my carpentry business now. Isa say you feel help me.
Oh, yes. All you have to do is go to the office of the Registrar of Companies, ORC for short. They have been mandated by the government of Ghana to register all businesses, including sole proprietorships, partnerships, companies such as churches, schools, NGOs, CSOs, associations, unions, external companies, and professional bodies.
Oh, sir.
Yes, so any business you want to register, ORC is the office to go to. Remember, ORC is still in the same premises as the Registrar General's Department, and all businesses registered with the Registrar General's Department are still valid. If you need more information, go to orc.gov.gh or call them on 055-765-3130 and 0302-666-180.
Charlie, then I have to look sharp.
Quick.
ORC, here to serve you.
Now we go live in 3, 2, 1.
Airtel Tigo is now 80.
It's Airtel Tigo.
It's okay, Abna. Say Airtel, say Sadie. That you know simple cry. 80. Simple.
Tell your neighbor to tell a neighbor that your favorite telecommunication network, Airtel Tigo, is now 80. Simple. New name, but still provides you with affordable and reliable internet, clear calls, secure money services, and much more.
80. Life is simple.
This is the biggest and the most exciting culinary show in Ghana. 6 tertiary schools presents 3 budding chefs each to battle it out here in the kitchen, knife to knife. It's time to find the toughest, smartest, and the most creative team. Which school will win the ultimate prize and earn the bragging rights as Ghana's tertiary school with the best chefs? Join me, Michelle Adekum, and the judges as we discover the best team who will serve the most amazing cuisines. This is Big Chef Tertiary. Big Chef Tertiary. The kitchen has no boundary.
joining us right here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Let me say good morning to our listeners in Kumasi, listening to us on Love 99.5 FM, to all of you listening to us in Takrade on Radio Max and in Sunyani on Sky FM. If you're listening to us in Bolgatanga, listening to us in Ho, listening to us in Cape Coast, wherever you are listening to us here on the Super Morning Show, thank you very much for choosing us. Thank you very much for being with us this morning, because we're about to have a conversation, one that concerns you, okay? Actually, you probably may be asking yourself, oh, why should I be concerned? Well, you should be concerned because what we're going to talk about concerns all of us as a people. We're talking about cancers, whether you're a man, woman, or even children are not left out. I mean, the last time I had a conversation about, child cancers, I was shocked. So if you're still driving to work, or you're at work, if you're a parent and you believe, okay, well, I've been checking, maybe it's time to be concerned about your child also. Well, Absa Bank says they know that life is go, 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 and it's hard to make time for the things that really count, so they won't let banking get you in your way. That's why with Absa's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who's important to you. Banking has never been this easy. Transfer funds into your savings account, pay your old school union dues and your DSTV subscription, and many more with a click on your phone. Get things done simply with Absa's digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's Absa. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com.gh for further details. This morning, we're joined by Dr. Hannah Nagogwe Ayite, who's Senior Specialist, Radiation Clinical Oncologist, and Faculty Chairperson, Radiology, Oncology and Radiotherapy, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, and President of the Breast Society of Ghana, Secretary General of the African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, and member of the Ghana Medical Association. Dr. Richard Salome is Acting General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. And Dr. Hilda Mantibiabo is President, Pediatric Society of Ghana, and a member of the Ghana Medical Association. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
I believe all of you are doing very well.
Very well. Thank you.
Great. So when I started talking about this, and I said we're going to have a conversation about cancers, the first question somebody asked me was, why is it really important to be talking about cancer? What is it, and why should he or she be concerned? Let me start off with you, Dr. Ayite. Yes, you can tell us.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. So cancers are known as the non-communicable diseases, and there are a variety of cancers. In fact, everyone, like you said before, can develop a cancer. It can develop in males and females, and it can develop in any part of the body. So that's why it's also very important. And over the years, the incidence of cancers have been increasing.
Okay.
Lifestyle changes. In fact, the older you grow, the chances of you developing cancer increases. Lifestyle changes, environmental issues, sometimes the food we eat, the viruses, the bacteria, the microorganisms that we come across, in our daily lives, infections, etc., can also result in cancers. And there are a number of cancers which happen just to changes that take place in the body, which you have no control over.
Okay.
So it's very important to emphasize screening as much as possible, early detection and all. So when you notice something strange in your body which has not probably been like that before, we all know ourselves, and usually you are the one who will present to the hospital, or someone may tell you that they have noticed something about you which you should follow up on. These are probably the ways of detecting that you may have a cancer.
Okay.
Thing is, cancer could usually present in a way that other diseases may present like that. Some infections may present like, or it could present like a swelling somewhere, a sore area, soreness in your throat, things that could easily be another disease. So usually it takes a bit of time, if it's not very specific, for other doctors to be able to rule out other possible reasons before they come to the likelihood of a cancer diagnosis and then start investigations. So in brief.
And you know, let me just find out. So you've talked about it, but for that person listening to us, he's asking himself also, how does it develop and why should I be concerned? What harm does it pose to me?
Okay, so if we are going to how does it develop, then we are going into the genesis of cancers. Yes. So the body is made up of the smallest part of the body is what we call the cell. And the cell can function on its own. A number of cells come together to form tissues, and then tissues to form organs, the organ system, then the whole body. So you see, the cell is the very smallest part, and that cell undergoes changes from time to time, divides, break down, and then divides into other parts, then eventually breaks down, dies, and new ones form, etc. But there are times that this division goes wrong. Something happens due to either some changes in the person's, what we call the DNA, the genetic material, or due to other factors I've mentioned before. When that happens, it becomes it's like an unruly. I always use the term, like you have children looking after, being trained to go in a particular way, and there's one child that becomes unruly and just decides to go its own way, doesn't respond to anything, it's so difficult to control. That is just in essence how a cancer behaves. So then it starts growing abnormally, and when it happens like that, it tries to survive wherever it is. So it is trying to get all the oxygen, all the blood supply, everything, to make sure it is master where it is, spreading where else it can go. It develops certain characteristics or certain features which makes it able to spread to other parts of the body and stay there and develop and then cause changes. It makes its presence felt wherever it goes. So that is in essence what cancers do. And because of the fact that they can spread, they go to other parts. For instance, if it starts in your eye, or it starts in your lung, or it starts basically in your throat, it can go into your brain. Some people may land at the psychiatric hospital because they are behaving abnormally, and people assume that they have a psychiatric illness or a mental illness, simply put. But in actual fact, it's probably because there's a cancer somewhere which has spread to the brain and is making that part of the brain which determines how you function and how you behave and all. It's making you behave abnormally. That is just one example. It could also be spread to the lungs. The lungs is supposed to be where there's air exchange. So you breathe in, breathe out, and you are feeling okay. It gets to a point where the cancer invades the tissues of the lung. What happens means that now you have very little space for that air exchange to take place. And then you start having difficulty breathing. Or around the lung, there's something called the pleural covering. It's a covering around the lung. Let's say it's something put in a rubber bag. In that bag, around it, there's usually a little bit of fluid, which is normal to allow the lung to sort of move in and out, sliding very well. But sometimes the cancer causes a lot of fluid, like liquid water, but not exactly water, but some fluid, to fill up the space. So if air is going to go through water, it's as if you are drowning. And you don't really have that air exchange. You are in water. It just feels like you are in water and you are drowning. So you can't really breathe in and out. That can also kill you. Cancer can also spread to your bones. And when it happens like that, it makes the bones very soft and brittle. It can also cause the brittle bones to break. Fractures can happen. And then you can end up in such a situation where suddenly you are walking, suddenly you fall, you have a fracture, no car hit you, you didn't fall down from a staircase, but you suddenly cannot walk. We've had patients who are just taking off their shirts in the morning, and all of a sudden they have a break, their clavicle just breaks, the collarbone just suddenly breaks off.
Just like that?
Just like that. So you see, these are some of the things cancers can do. It can spread to your liver. The liver is the greatest organ where all the detoxification, you take medicines, you take all sorts of harmful things, etc., are broken down to make them neutral in the body. Cancers can invade that place and then cause trouble. So you see, because of what can happen with them, it's usually best that it's detected early. Unfortunately, not all cancers can be detected early. Some of them happen insidiously, slowly, and by the time they are detected, they have already gone very far.
Oh. But we're talking about early detection, but not all can be detected early.
That is just to tell you there's the other side of it. But most of them can be detected early enough. So if you notice, for instance, if you're talking about the breast, if you notice marked difference in the size of your breast, marked, I'm saying that because naturally one breast is larger than the other one. So it's not as if, because if you are not careful when you are talking, you're not careful what you say, immediately you cause alarm, false alarm. Exactly. So marked difference in the size of the breast, or you notice changes on the skin. The skin becomes like an orange peel. You know, that breast, it feels like an orange with little bumps around it. Or you notice some tethering or some changes in the color of the skin. Or you notice a swelling, yes, a mass, something. You can feel that there's a lump in the breast which has not been there. Mind you, there are lumps in the breast which are not cancerous lumps. So you see, that is why you need to go to the doctor. You may start, if you are not at a facility where there's a doctor, you could actually go to meet the nurse who is in charge of the place, or the medical assistant. They'll do preliminary examinations, and then that's why we have primary, tertiary, secondary, tertiary. So then you move on. They move you on to the next facility where you have someone who is experienced enough to be able to feel it and say, I think we should do so and so test to find out what is happening. You may need to do an x-ray, you may need to do scan, and then they may need to take a little bit of that lump, whatever it is, what's called a biopsy. The doctor takes a little bit, and then another doctor looks under it and under the microscope to tell whether, okay, this is not something to worry about. It's a normal type of swelling. We can just go and remove it. Then the surgeon will remove it. But if they find out that, no, it is a cancerous type, which is not the normal swelling, then you may have to go through the processes. Either you have it removed surgically, where they do an operation for you, for everyone to understand, and you may also have to take some medications that are anti-cancer to help reduce the chances. So this is just looking at the breast. If we are to move on briefly to look at, for instance, cancer of the cervix, which is the second commonest female cancer in Ghana now, what you may notice is that you are probably having, you should be having normal periods. So we talk about those who are non-menopausal and those who are menopausal. So if you are not yet menopausal, you will be having your normal periods. What you notice is you may start having bleeding at times which are not your regular periods. So you may be bleeding throughout the month, which should not happen. You should have a period, maybe a week, and then after that but you may be bleeding frequently. The other thing is that you will be having foul discharge or smell, or foul vaginal discharge, odor coming out from your vagina. In that case, you should also go to your doctor. It could just be an ordinary infection, but it could also be cancer. You may also be realizing that whenever you are having sexual intercourse, you have severe pain. That's one of the presentations. And then you also go to your doctor for review. They will do an examination. The gynecologist will do an examination. If there's something there which they find, they will also take a little bit, which is called a biopsy, to the lab for further investigations. If you are male, prostate cancer is one of the commonest. I mean, we have liver cancers, etc. But if you look at the other cancers, prostate is also, for my facility, for instance, the commonest male cancer. So in that case, you may also have had, and usually it's more in the older men, but we still have some people, even 50s, above 60s, who still develop prostate cancer. It could be from strong family history of prostate cancer or other. So it's important to be checking. You may also notice that probably you are you are having problems with urination, either painful urination, frequent urination, or when you get to the toilet to pass urine, you have significant difficulty even starting off the urine, or you are dribbling after that. There could be a problem with your prostate, or you are having difficulty just passing urine. You notice that it's like there's some obstruction. You have to strain several times. Or at night, you are sleeping and you tend to get up several times in the night. So you can really not have meaningful sleep. You wake up in the morning very tired because you have visited the toilet so many times. And then you have incidences where sometimes you have men, in code they say shamoba. You can't pass urine. All of a sudden, you are rushed to the hospital. They have to pass a catheter. It's not always prostate cancer. There are times when there's enlargement of the prostate gland. We call it benign prostate hyperplasia. That could also cause that. But you could also probably have a cancer, which could be investigated. So these are some of the common cancers. There are a lot of other cancers of the head and neck areas, which are also cancers on their own, where you can have cancers of your eye, you can have of the facial features of the jaw. You can also have cancers in the throat, of the voice, the larynx, the voice box, and others. And then you can also have cancers of the gastrointestinal system. When I say that, I mean from the mouth. There's a long tube that gets into the stomach. It's called the esophagus. And then you have the stomach. And then you have the intestines. Everybody knows intestines. For medical terms, we have the small intestines, we have the large intestines. And then you have the anus, where cancers can happen in any of these structures along that time till it comes out. In fact, the exit point, the anus, you have cancers also happening there.
Wow.
Yes.
We'll continue with the conversation. I'd love to hear from Dr. Richard Salome. I'll hear from you, Dr. Hilda Mantibia-Boy, who is president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana and a member of the Ghana Medical Association. Because I want us to talk about, the young ones also, the children. I mean, the cancers that affect them. I'll get to you, Dr. Richard Salome, who is acting General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, to tell us, what to look out for, some of the things we can do to prevent these cancers. And then we'll look at, whether it's curable or not. Dr. Hannah Nagogwe Ayite will be telling us more about that. So this morning we're having a conversation about cancers. Let me get to you, Dr. Hilda Mantibia-Boy. So let's look at our children, okay? I mean, ordinarily, for many people, when you talk to them, when they hear cancers, nobody really thinks that children could also have cancers. Tell us the childhood cancers that we have, particularly in Ghana.
All right. So the children can get cancer, and we have a number of children presenting to our facilities with cancer. In the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, we have about 240 new cases of children who are diagnosed with cancer every year. We have other facilities, Komfo Anokye, Tamale Teaching Hospital, and others in Ghana that will make the diagnosis, start some treatment at certain points, and refer to us. The commonest ones that we are seeing now are the leukemias. So the leukemia, which is a blood cancer, and then we have the lymphomas. The lymphomas are cancers of the lymph nodes. So you see swellings, big swellings. You could see a jaw swelling. You could see big lymph nodes around the necks swelling. So these are typically the lymphomas. Then we have cancers of the kidney. So we call them Wilms tumor or nephroblastoma.
Even at that very young age?
Yes, even at that very young age, we have all those cancers. And then we have the retinoblastomas. That is the cancer of the eye. So the retinoblastoma. So you have those as well. There are others, bone cancers, nasopharyngeal cancers. So
hold on. When you say this, you bring them down. So those of us who are not, medical practitioners, so we can understand.
All right. Okay. So I think that basically, just like Dr. Gogwe said, the cancers can affect every part of the body, from the blood through to the bone, through to the skin. Every part of the body can be affected, and children are no exception. They also develop these cancers. The commonest that we are seeing now are the blood cancers, and then you have some of the others that I mentioned. And in children, just like the adults, they may have a fever, or their temperature may go up. And this is fever that is typically persistent. So if I say persistent, today you have a fever, let's say this week you've had a fever, your temperature is high, then next week it's as if it's down, the following week it's gone back up, you've been to hospital, maybe initially they said it was malaria, then the following time somebody is still saying it's malaria, or now they are not sure, it persists. So that is fever. And then they may have bone pain, so they may complain about pain in the joint, bone, my leg is paining me, my arm is paining me. So all those may point us in the direction of a cancer. Weight loss is another very important symptom. So if you have a child who is otherwise eating well and is still losing weight, is unwell most of the time, these should prompt you that the child may be having a cancer. Then the abnormal swellings, or the swellings of the body parts. So I mentioned initially you could have swelling of the jaw, swelling around the neck, swelling of organs in the abdomen. So you could have the child's tummy become very big and you are not sure what it is. It could well be a cancer. They may also have anemia, where their blood level would go down, and that would make them easily tired. And a number of these symptoms I have mentioned may also be present in other conditions, but once it becomes something persistent, the child is losing weight, you're not really sure what is going on, it's very important that you see your doctor very early. And if it's at a lower center or a lower facility, they may have to refer to a higher center where the tests that are required for the diagnosis to be made can be done, and the child can be appropriately diagnosed and treatment initiated. Because if they come in early, the chances of survival or cure go really high compared to if they show up very late. If you show up at the time where the organs are all damaged, so where the initial problem was, it has gone beyond that place and gone to involve other organs, this means that you have come in rather late and your chances of surviving or having a cure go low. So that means that probably if you show up that late, then all we may be doing for you is keeping you comfortable until you eventually die. So death is the major thing in cancer. If you do nothing about a cancer, you will die. And different cancers behave in different ways. So there are some that will kill you in a very short time, and there are some that will kill you, it will take a bit longer, but you will not survive if you do not receive the appropriate treatment early. So we want to avoid death in children with cancer, and we know that if they present early or they show up in hospital early for the diagnosis to be made and the treatment to be initiated, they do very well. We have people who are adults now who are working, who have families, who are living the life that we are all living, but they had cancers as children and had treatment early and were cured. So it's not all gloom. There's a lot of hope. It's just that parents, caregivers have to be able to identify these symptoms and show up to hospital or the right places very early to be diagnosed and for treatment to be initiated.
Great. Let me get to you, Dr. Richard Salome, because yes, we've learned that, cancers are, the abnormal growth of cells and everything, and what they could do to us. But what causes these abnormal growth? I'm just interested in it. Before we get to the prevention, what causes them?
Okay. So I think Dr. Ayete talked a little bit about that. The truth is, it's difficult to say. In some instances, we know, because some of them we know are linked to specific viruses, for example. So we know some of these viruses insert themselves in how the DNA works and then begin to cause the DNA, should I say, to work in ways that causes your cells to grow haphazardly. So for example, we know that patients who have had hepatitis infections, hepatitis B especially, tend to develop liver cancers later on. So if it's found early, normally you'll be given certain medications to try to slow it down, but we know eventually a number of them will develop liver cancers. We also know, for example, human papilloma viruses in females tend to contribute greatly to cervical cancers and even some head and neck tumors. I'm a maxillofacial surgeon. But for majority of the cancers, we cannot pinpoint. You see, in science, we talk of causation. What it means is when A is present, B must happen.
Sure.
And that is why often we talk about risk factors. What this means is that when a lot of these are there, you are likely to develop that. So the actual cause that would tell the cell to immediately start growing out of bounds, start destroying tissues around, start spreading to other places, is difficult to say in most cancers. However, we know that when certain conditions are present, it is likely that your cells will misbehave.
What are these conditions?
So we know, for example, that when you smoke, the chances of you developing cancers, especially of the respiratory system and even other parts of the body, is way higher than the regular population that don't smoke.
Okay.
Alcohol intake. We also know that chronic irritations, for example, those of you who wear dentures, you wear a denture, it's not fitting well, it is irritating, there's a sore there that it keeps irritating for long. Chances are that the body is trying to respond. That response may go out of bounds, and then you tend to have that. We also know when you have certain infections, like I have mentioned, like some viral infections, you might be able to develop it. We know also that those exposed to, should I say, high amounts of some radiations, so people, seafarers, for example, tend to develop some cancers. And then we know that we are protected very well by the melanin that God gave us. If there's something wrong with that, like people who are albinos, for example, that protection is not there as much. And therefore, your radiation can begin to cause problems for you. And then skin cancers tend to develop in these people. So those are some of the risk factors we talk about. But of course, as you said, if you grow old enough, long enough, the chances are much higher for you.
And
to develop.
Old enough is what? You know, when you grow old,
There's
old
no
enough.
figure to it because,
okay.
as I said, it can develop at any point. But what we are saying is that your cells work in a very well complicated but very well coordinated fashion, where your cells grow. This skin you see here today, it's not the skin you are seeing in about 2 weeks. The cells are dying off. That's why you wash it off. And then new cells are coming in. They know their role and they stop there. But there can be an aberration at any time so that the skin can start just going off and misbehaving. So what we know is that generally as a machine grows, your car is growing. 20 years time, you start visiting the filter more often than when you bought it fresh. Good. Similarly, your cells tend to have problems with how they control and coordinate these functions as you grow. And that is why there tends to be more problems like control of the cells, which can lead to cancers and other things. So the longer you stay on life, the more the risk. It doesn't mean you will develop, but the risk is higher in that sense. I just want to add a bit about why we must be worried or care about cancers.
Go ahead.
I think they spoke about a lot of the issues, but then we should also know that between the disease and death, cancer causes a lot of damage and then can lead to a lot of disability and affect your quality of life. I can use, I work in the head and neck region, so people who develop tongue cancers, you realize that their speech is affected. They can't taste anything that they are eating. Sometimes it grows so big, fills their mouth, they can't close their mouth, they are drooling all the time. Imagine being a worker, for example, who is a front office staff at a bank. You can't be at the front office anymore.
Sure.
It affects food you can even eat because now you can't chew, your teeth are in a disarray, so you can't chew. So it is important we catch it early because, one, it is cheaper to treat when you catch it early. And then also the disabilities are reduced. Your chances of a cure are higher if you catch it early. The other bit why we must worry is that, as they've said, many of them, for some people, it's just fever. For some people, it's just fever. I know on your show you covered my grandson, Michael Isiama, if you heard of that issue. Yeah. His own was change in vision because it was a brain tumor. And he kept complaining about his sight. And you think it's this. The glasses changed several times. And then he began having vomiting episodes and seizures. Then it was referred to a higher center. And it turned out to be a brain tumor. Unfortunately, we lost him. So the thing about that is that you don't know when it will happen. It may be happening quietly and you don't even know. And that is why, not that we should worry and be rushing to the hospital per se, but you should be checking yourself regularly to notice your normal, and when there are any changes, then you seek care. So these are some of the reasons we must worry about it. The cost to you, the disabilities that it causes, the quality of life changes that it can cause, and also the bit about stigma, and then the psychological, emotional, and financial trauma that it causes to a lot of families. So it is something we should all be worried about. And for us at GMA, we have noticed, as you said it, more and more people presenting at facilities with cancers these days. And not just more and more people. At first, we thought cancers were for the old people. But we are noticing that young people in their productive lives are now turning up with cancers, especially with hepatitis B and the lifestyle issues, which, because it leads to liver cancers commonly, a lot of people. And people do not even know that they have hepatitis until it's late. They are presenting. It is only when they have a hepatocellular carcinoma that they come to the hospital, then it's detected, or they have a severe jaundice, then they find out that they actually have this, and they are finding out. So it's something that we think we need to seriously be discussing and checking ourselves for.
Great. This morning we're joined by Dr. Hannah Nagogwe Aite, who is a senior specialist radiation and clinical oncologist, faculty chairperson, radiology and oncology, and radiotherapy at the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, and president of the Breast Society of Ghana, and secretary general of the African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer. Dr. Richard Salome is acting general secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, and Dr. Hilda Mantibia-Boy is president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana. We're having a conversation about cancer. So you've talked about causes or risk factors. We've talked about how do we prevent it?
Good. So, as we've said, prevention is then targeted at things you should do to minimize, as we've said, because you're a human being, just like any machine. As you grow, there's going to be a point where things will not work. You have to go to the fitter. You have to get things done.
Sure.
So you look at things that you do to reduce your chances of having problems. Now, these are targeted usually at the risk factors. Those that we know specific causes, then you can target the causes. So majority of the things, as we've talked about, go towards lifestyle. So smoking, as we said, is one of the major causes. So we need to target that. It means you would need to look at cutting down on smoking. Of course, we know people who smoke, there's an addictive component to it. So trying to stop all of a sudden can have a rebound effect where you then have to get back to it quickly because you just want it so bad. So we normally encourage you to. There are various programs that are specific towards smoking cessation, but you can gradually cut. If it's 20 sticks, you can begin to work your way down. Say every month you are just taking one stick off your usual. We know alcohol is also one of the common ones. We also know the other risk factors which are infectious, as I have mentioned, like the hepatitis, like the papillomavirus infection as well. Most of these, we know one of the commonest routes to get it is having unprotected sex, and then multiple sexual partners. So what it means is you would want to take a look at that, reduce the unprotected sex and multiple sexual partners. Also, other means of getting these infections, like people who use injection drugs, who do hard drugs and inject themselves all over. Of course, we also know that generally exercise improves almost everything in our body.
Okay.
Helps our body to do various things. These things are all in our control as people. Now, the other preventive bit is what will help you when you have the knowledge. And the person to do that is in the health facility. So, other bit is to what? Get yourself checked on a regular basis, visiting the facility to just check, so that if there's something is seen early. And then also, your diet is a big player in our body, how it functions, how the cells are controlled. So our diet, and of course we know these days the fast foods are predominating. And we know that various conditions also contribute, like obesity and others, tend to also contribute to some cancers or risk factors for some cancers. So we would have to all look at our diet, exercise regimen, and then there are specific ones which may be medical in nature in terms of prevention. We know there are also medications that also help the liver to fight or prevent some of these. For example, people with hepatitis are given some medications that help their liver to be a bit more quote and unquote stable and not the cells go haywire and begin to form cancers or reduce the chances. So there are the non-medical ones, then there are some medical ones, and then the general bit of lifestyle changes that we will have to do. Of course, the specific cancers will mean that you have specific things that are tailored, but we are talking general, and that is what's, yeah.
How about the children? I mean, I'm very curious because for many of them, they probably may not be knowing, they probably may not know even what they are going through. So it's something that the parents must do for them. How do you prevent your children from getting these cancers?
There are quite a number of them that you cannot do anything about. So it's not always going to be preventable. But the infections that he talked about, if some of those prevention measures could be put in place, because if you even look at, so the vaccination and all, very helpful. Then avoidance of the contact with insecticides, because some insecticides, the pesticides, have been linked with cancers, malaria prevention as well.
No, hold on, no. Insecticide.
Yes, the insecticide, those chemicals, pesticides, all those chemicals.
But how do we know?
Because there have been studies that have linked them to the development of certain cancers. So
but so these insecticides, studies have linked some of them to the development of cancers.
Yes.
Then we should not be selling them.
So you see, everything, even medications, even medications have side effects. And medications that are supposed to treat you for certain conditions can become a poison if you are taking them in excess or you're going over the dose. So moderation in everything and avoiding where possible. That's what I'd say.
You see, Dr. Mantibia.
Yes.
I am a journalist.
Yes.
And I like to study accounting. A lot of my readings will be in journalism, finance, and and politics. So I wouldn't know these things. And so if you expect me, and so if I am going to buy an insecticide, for instance, I wouldn't know which one has chemicals that are likely to, expose you to this or that. So, I mean, speaking on behalf of people who are like me, then the issue should be, why are these things in the market?
Okay, so what I would say is that, you see, even, let's say, if you talk about the mosquito spray, I'm just using that as an example. There are safety precautions there when you're using them. You don't spray and sleep inside immediately after. You have to wait for it to work for a while, good ventilation before you going, handling of pesticides and all. So for all these things, when you practice or observe the safety precautions, then the chances of your exposure to cause you to have some of these cancers will go down. So it's not really about a particular brand per se, but they are generally safe, and that is why they are on the market, because they have gone through approval or Food and Drugs Authority. So it's important that we observe those precautions.
Okay.
And just to add to that, you see, that's why there are labels. So you realize that cigarettes, actually, it's a classic example. It is written boldly on it now and required by a law that smoking might lead to all the problems. Some even have a drawing with body parts showing cancers. But of course, people still smoke. So for pesticides, if you realize some of the cans have instructions on how to use them, and then also how to properly adorn yourself. But you realize that sometimes we don't wear the protective wear. They come in contact with the skin, and then on top of that, there's also radiation from the sun, and all these mixed together risk you over time to develop some cancers that out of this. So it's important that we obey the precautions, because it may be safe used in an open environment, but it's not safe using a pesticide in a closed environment. And then you must wear the protective gear and all that.
Yes, Dr. Ite.
Yes, I just want to add something to that as well. You know, apart from that, preservation of our food items. Unfortunately, our mothers and fathers in the market have also, and sometimes the farmers and all, sometimes spray the food items with these pesticides and chemicals, and just to try and get rid of cockroaches and you know, rats and all sorts of things. And sometimes even the food coloration that is used to color the food to make it more attractive. I actually had a chat with a woman in the market recently. She said, "Doc, you know, if I don't do this, they will buy the other woman's product and leave mine because hers are more attractive." So I think we should also look at that. I know FDA is also looking into things like that, but just to let us know that it can come closer to you than you think.
In fact, it's closer to us than we think.
Oh yes,
because really, I mean, you don't know what you're buying from the market.
Exactly.
And even if you're buying food outside already prepared, you don't know
what was
used to cook it. So it becomes a problem. Is there another thing you want to add? Because I have seen my friends who smoke sending messages that they've had. Those who drink alcohol,
they know exactly.
They are sending messages.
So alcohol and smoking. Richard mentioned that. In fact, they are one of the top causes of a lot of cancers. If you put so many cancers together, smoking is even one of the causes of a cervical cancer. I mean, in Ghana, we don't have a significant smoking problem here.
No, but Doc, these days, the younger ladies are doing shisha.
You know, that's true.
Which we know it's more than actually taking just one stick and smoking.
One stick, that's true.
Shisha. Throw more light on that.
Oh, yes. So you see, there's this thought that shisha is not harmful because it goes through water and is that. And there's studies to show that is the same as the smoke you are smoking. Unfortunately, we do this because it's recreational. I'm not going to go and smoke shisha alone. I'll go with Hilda. I'll go with you. You won't go with me. So we tend to go with friends. Now, often the friends think that they are not doing the smoking, and so they are fine. We have what we call secondary smoke. The smoker tends to even be a little bit more protected because the body tries to adapt for a while before the changes happen. Because the body will change the cells to try to adapt to prevent changes happening in that person. You, the secondary person, the friend who doesn't smoke and is sitting by, and the person smokes and puffs on you, because your body has not adapted to any smoking, you are even at a higher risk when you are receiving a big dose at the same time.
So in effect, we shouldn't sit close to them.
Of course. Or advise them to cut it down. So shisha, please, is something that we really need to look at, because it's becoming something like a status symbol. A lot of younger people are doing it. Now, what I just want to say is that the thing about disease is that we think it should happen immediately. It's like falling over a cliff. You may be falling, flapping for a long time before you actually fall over. The disease, especially cancers, tend to build over time. The body tries to even take care of some of them over time. It's up to a certain threshold, then you begin to develop it properly. So you might think you are young, I can't get cancer, I can smoke for another 20 years, and then I will stop when I'm 40 and I should be fine because they said it's old people. No. You could smoke, damage the cells now, and what it means is that by the time you are 40, then you are dealing with a big issue on your hand.
You know what we're going to do right now?
Yeah.
we're going to go for a short break.
Right.
When we return, we'll activate the phone lines. We'll also talk about the lecture that you have on cancers.
Great.
That's a very important thing also.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of people sending messages. Please, I'm going to activate the phone lines. Try. Reach us and ask your questions.
Yes.
In case your questions don't come through, I'd ask your questions for you. But this is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And this morning we're having a conversation about cancers. It's a general conversation. I'm sure later on we'll pick them one by one and, talk about them. When we return after these messages, you get a chance to call into the show on 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302-200-390 or 059-692-0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Say donut, 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 donut. Hey, donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Yen kong kotak donut. Donut, donut. Malaria super donut. Everybody follow not sa malaria. A 3D till no not now. Won't toe malaria too. Won't popo. Won't win the day. I want the num donut. A dabako. Num donut. A damien no. Num donut. A damien sa. Num donut. Malaria super donut. No. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa wumujam ansana wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo ho a ko hu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
Ha! Now the Adansi at 10 vibe is everywhere. So my kid sister called me and all she could say was,
I can't wait to vibe with Adansi and feel life's beauty in the summer.
Simply because of a trip post I made on social media. See, can't put it down, pa. This year, Adansi Travel's 10th anniversary vibe is vibing. I mean, tell me how you can miss out on the breathtaking Best of Southern Africa tour. See, it's 10 beautiful days of fun, nature, and adventure in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And the rate is a cool $3,300 per person and $6,500 for a couple, which covers your flight, hotels, daily breakfast, sunset cruise, tours, guided shopping, and a visit to the beautiful Victoria Falls. Get your vibe on and join this Adansi-licious tour from 31st August to 10th September. Visit AdansiTravels.com or call 0595 500 817 or 0556 310 404 to book your spot.
It does get better anytime your favorite shop, Malcolm, says it's there for you and got you covered with all your daily need items. Continue shopping on products ranging from groceries, stationery, electronics, homeware, kitchenware, furniture, home decor, electricals, and many more at low prices. Terms and conditions apply. Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And this morning we're joined by Dr. Hanana Gogwe Ayite, who is Senior Specialist Radiation and Clinical Oncologist. We also have Dr. Richard Salome, who is Acting General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, and Dr. Hilda Mantibia Boy, who is President, Pediatric Society of Ghana. So the phone lines have been activated. We've been talking about cancers, and I know that there are a lot of you who have questions to ask, okay? So we are ready. We're going to be picking the first 5 questions, and then we'll get our doctors to address these questions. And then if we have time, we'll come back onto the phone lines and pick more of your questions. You can reach us on 0302 216 541 and then 055 1111 997. But experience the excellence and global recognition of a British education combined with convenience and affordability at Lancaster University, Ghana. Expand your horizons and elevate your career prospects with a British degree delivered right to your doorstep. Apply now and embark on a transformative educational journey that will shape your future. Admissions are currently open for October 2023. For more information, kindly visit lancaster.edu.gh, or you can also call us on 0302 218 989 or 0209 607 Email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British campus in West Africa. So give us a call now. Maybe there are questions that you want answered for you. This morning we've been talking about the risk factors when it comes to cancer, smoking, and drinking of alcohol. So if you want to prevent them, you know what to do. But GRA wishes to remind all withholding tax agents, including VAT withholding agents appointed by the Commissioner General, that withholding taxes must be paid to a domestic tax revenue division of the Ghana Revenue Authority by the 15th of every month, and withholding taxes for June 2023 will therefore be due by Friday, the 14th of July 2023. Withholding taxes including withholding on VAT deducted on VAT, suppliers operating the VAT standard rate scheme 12.5%, employment payment for the supply or use of goods payment for the supply of any works, and payment for the supply of services and all other withheld taxes for June 2023 are due by the 14th of July 2023. They may also submit hard and soft copies of schedules indicating gross amount, the tax deducted, names of taxpayers, and TIN or Ghana card paying from whom the taxes were withheld. Now, taxpayers are also to note that in line with GRA's cashless policy, both cash and check payments should be made at any of the 23 designated banks, the Ghana.gov platform, or via USSD code *222#. We also encourage taxpayers to file their returns online via the taxpayersportal.com. Please note that failure to pay your tax by due date attracts an interest of 125% of the statutory rate, compounded monthly on the outstanding amount. Please note also that third-party checks will require 2 days to clear. The GRA can be reached via mail on info@gra.gov.gh or WhatsApp 0552 990000 or 0200 631 Note, because 15 July is on the weekend, payment of withholding tax must be received by Friday, 14 July 2023, signed by the Commissioner General. So the phone lines have been activated now. You can now reach us if you have any question you want to ask the 3 doctors who are here with us this morning. You can reach us on 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997 or 0302 216 541. Selina is in Accra. Good morning, Selina.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Selina.
Please, I've been listening to the program.
Okay.
And I'm happy with whatever they are discussing. My issue is, if they know the health sector, they know the problem that is causing the cancer. From their discussion, they are saying they know some of the issues that brings about those ones. And I think they have control over the market than us. If people are selling in conditions that are not helping us, if farmers are applying chemicals that are not good to our conditions, why are they not contacting those institutions so that they do the right thing for us? Rather, they come to speak on the radio, and I don't have any control over that. They should please help us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very much, Selina. They will definitely help you. Would I get answers to this question for you? Emmanuel is calling us from Kolebu. Emmanuel, good morning.
Hello, Wisdom. Good morning.
Yes, Emmanuel.
And my regards to Dr. Mantibia and then the panel.
Okay.
Yes, I want to know about consuming of the alcohol. What are the symptoms which culminates to this?
What are what?
The consumption of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Excessive consumption of alcohol. What are the symptoms in terms of cancer?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's go to Kumasi, where Nana is. Nana, good morning.
Hey, hello, good morning.
Yes,
I have an experience with my child. He had a swollen lymph nodes together with a swollen jaw, but then he had catarrh at then. And then we sent him to the hospital and they give him antibiotics and painkillers. And then he has come down. Should I be worried? Is it some of the symptoms that I should be worried and I have to send him to a higher facility for a checkup?
Okay. Nana, we'll get answers to that question for you, okay? Okay. Thank you very much, Nana from Kumasi. Samuel is in the Volta region. Samuel, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, Samuel.
Yeah, thanks to our colleagues there. You see, it's about time we tell our people the blank truth. Look, we are learning over 200 children, new children are being diagnosed every year now in Ghana.
At Kolebu?
At Kolebu, just in Kolebu.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, what is accounting for this? What are the risk factors? Childhood nutrition today is a problem. We are feeding our children with hazardous foods, and we must take care of that. Let's speak the truth. So many things on the market today we are consuming are increasing our risk. And this is what we should start educating our people on. Please, it's getting out of hand. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for joining us. Samuel, Yuseli from Western North. I hope I got the name right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please.
Please, the symptoms that will show for you to, so someone having hepatitis B, then took medication, then later on some symptoms. Will it affect one side of your rib? Because sometimes you feel some pains at your left side of your rib. Is it a symptom?
Okay. Thank you very much, Yuseli, who will be our last caller for now. We'll get, our doctors, Dr. Richard Salome, Dr. Mantibia Boy, and Dr. Aite to address these questions. Yuseli says he's asking a question about symptoms when you have hepatitis B and you take medications. You have pains at the left side. He's asking whether that's really the case. You are the experts in the field. Yes, over to you. Any of you can answer these questions. Yes, any of the questions.
So I think I'll take the first question. Selena, thanks for your question. I wish we were empowered enough to have the powers that you wish on us to arrest some of these people who spray their foods with insecticides, those who bring some of these hazardous things to the market, bring certain medications and other things that risk people to get cancers. Unfortunately, as health professionals, people tend to see us to have certain powers. Like, why are you not even, when there's no oxygen, somebody thinks you must be the one to provide it, even though that's not your job. There are bodies mandated to do these jobs. Part of what we are doing here today is our role, where we educate the public to know. The larger power lies with you, the people. Ask questions of that woman who is selling you that fish, which you can smell something like a mosquito spray on. And stop buying from that woman. The market responds to such things. You will see that she will have to change. Don't also begin to follow, the meat looks redder than normal. And you don't know what dye has been applied. And sometimes you can see it clearly that it's dye, it's not blood. I mean, the fluid that comes, the one they cut at the market, small. You see it that is being colored with this very red dye. And you should ask questions and don't buy that. Get to the abattoir and buy. If we, the people, use our purchasing power well, you realize that some of these things, they will not bring it, because if he brings a container full of that, and you don't buy it, he's making a loss and he won't bring it next time. There are bodies that are mandated. FDA is one of them. They try to do their best, but we need to keep calling them. And we, the people, also, when we see these things, after we have educated you, you should quickly call FDA, who are reachable. And I've seen a few times where people report and they've taken action to deal with some of these people. So we'll do our best to educate you, but then there are bodies that are mandated to do some of these things. Thank you.
Okay, and then Emmanuel was talking about the consumption of alcohol. What could be the symptoms?
Okay, so I just wanted to say that I know whenever we talk about alcohol in relation to cancer, there's usually a lot of uproar. A lot of people ask questions. This happens wherever I go and talk about cancer and mention alcohol as one of the risk factors. So, like we said, a little bit of alcohol. There are normal levels of, I can't talk about that now, that acceptable alcohol limits for men and women and all. But excessive alcohol consumption, like you said, causes so many other problems. But in cancers, it can, especially cancers of the head and neck region, like Richard mentioned, cancers from the mouth, what we call the oral cavity, the mouth, the tongue, the lining inside the mouth, the back of the throat, the bone itself, the jaw bone itself, the throat, even the what you use to speak, your larynx, the voice box, the esophagus, that is the long tube from the mouth to the stomach, that is also affected by that. Even the stomach, the other parts of the body. And then I mentioned, even for other cancers, you won't think alcohol could have an effect on breast cancer, cervical cancer, other cancers. Virtually any type of cancer can be affected by alcohol and smoking. These two kind of run together. So it's absolutely important to limit alcohol intake, apart from the fact that you could have mental problems when you become addicted to it and you cannot really control yourself. So I think we, as much as possible, we need to realize that it is one of the causes of these cancers. And we have people who come in. When they come in, you take the history, you realize that they have been taking alcohol or smoking for years. And this, you can tell, was obviously the cause of their cancers. Apart from the infections that happen, we have several viruses that are related to these head and neck cancers and the rest of the body. Some particular type of food items have also been related to particular cancers. But this is, in a nutshell, what I have to say on alcohol.
Great. And so Dr. Mantibia, Nana was talking about the child having swollen lymph nodes and also had catarrh at the time, and she's asking whether she should be concerned.
With the upper respiratory tract infections like the colds, the tonsil infection, ear infection, you could get the lymph nodes being enlarged a little bit, not too much, maybe about 1 centimeter. You could feel it under the jaw or under the chin, yes, and it's usually, it could be maybe a little bit painful or maybe not even painful, but not big, much bigger than that. So these are expected. And if it's a bacterial infection, for example, and the child is given antibiotics, it will go down. But if you have these swellings under and they are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, even to the point where they are disfiguring the child or having other symptoms, some of the other symptoms like the fever persistent that I mentioned, then you should be worried. But if it goes down right after the antibiotics, child is otherwise well, no other issues, then you are fine. But let me just say this also, that if at any point you are concerned about your child, see your doctor and speak with your doctor, because your doctor has the benefit of being able to actually thoroughly examine the child, assess the child well, to give you an informed opinion about whether they think your child is unwell and requires further testing or is just fine. There was another comment about what's accounting for these cancers. I think we've gone to town with them, so I'll leave it at that if that's okay.
Because the concern was about childhood nutrition.
Childhood nutrition. So it's not really like such a big thing, but like we have said, if you're eating food that is contaminated and all that with the chemicals, then the risk could go up. Generally, avoiding some of these infections that we talked about, taking care of your child, the child is generally fine. So don't worry too much about the nutrition. By all means, be be careful and be sure of what your child is taking, that is nutritious, that is a balanced meal. We don't always have control. And a lot of these cancers could be hereditary. You could also not know what the cause is for these children. So it's a bit difficult, but just know what your child is taking in, avoid the infections, and just take care of your child.
Yes. If I like to just add something to what Hilda is saying about the balanced diets of children, it's very important for everyone, including the children. So having some amount of protein, not too much carbohydrates. Usually because of the economic situations, we tend to, if it's a banku, a big ball of banku and very little fish, you can barely count the number. But protein is important for the children. Vegetables as well. So you need to also have vegetables in your food. And in the usually children run away from having vegetables, but that's very important. Fruits. You see, so if they have fruits, they have vegetables, because these have vitamins and inbuilt ingredients which help us fight, and the antioxidants, exactly, which help us fight the diseases. So if the child has a lot of these, it's important. Some studies done recently shown that obesity in children is becoming a problem because they're eating a lot of junk food, a lot of the wrong types of foods. So, and we know that obesity is also one of the risk factors for cancers. So just to come in there to balance.
Let me just add quickly, once you've added that, these days we don't allow our children to do physical activities.
Exactly.
So the children essentially are head down on tablets and on phones and on PCs. Let the children play. Let the children be children. And that is very important. Lack of activity and exercise among children is a big issue. This is just a general thing, even though it contributes to childhood obesity, which is a risk factor. And so we should get our children to play. Let them run. Let them do stuff that keep them active and get them going as well, not just hooked onto the tablets. And as she said, don't give Daddy Winston all the meat and give the children the smaller bit. I know Winston will come back at me.
No. I mean, on the contrary, I am not really much of a meat person. So that one you can get the children to eat the meat. I like the fish. That one is for me. Anyway, but Yuseli was asking. He says, he takes medication for hepatitis and he gets pains on the left side, left ribs or so, he says, and whether that's normal.
Well, I would just advise usually that the best is to get to the hospital. Actually, your liver is on the right. So pain can be from so many things. And then that left side has so many organs there. The stomach,
the spleen,
the ribs themselves, the skin, so many things that can actually be having any issue. Our advice is that it's best to see the doctor who can see you, take a better history, examine you and know what may be causing the pain. So I advise you to see the closest hospital and I'm sure they will take care.
Because it could also be related to the side effects of whatever medication so is also taking. Yes.
Okay. We'll get back to talk about your upcoming public lecture shortly. But Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited says, look, you don't have to come to any of their shops. Just log on to kingdomstoreonline.com and they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. And they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. But terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks. So let me tell you about Big Chef Tertiary, because the kitchen has no boundaries. And Big Chef is back, and this time it's the maiden edition of the tertiary version. 6 tertiary institutions represented by 3 contestants have come to cook, battle for the bragging rights, cash prize and lots of products from sponsors for their schools and themselves. Which of the schools are you an alumni of, and which of them are you rooting for? Takoradi Technical University, Cape Coast Technical University, Accra Technical University, Ho Technical University, Koforidua Technical University, and Kumasi Technical University. Which school will emerge the winner, the ultimate winner of the maiden edition of Big Chef Tertiary? Big Chef Tertiary shows every Sunday 5 p.m. on Joy Prime and repeats on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Big Chef Tertiary is proudly sponsored by Frytol Cooking Oil, Fortune Rice and Test Tank, Niche Chocolate Drink, Access Bank and YouFresh. Big Chef Tertiary, the kitchen has no boundary. Joy Prime, the ultimate experience. Great. So let's talk about the public lecture. Dr. Salome, tell us more about your public lecture. I know the theme. I know we are talking about cancers, but just tell us when it's going to be held, who is it open for, who can be there, and why people should be there.
Great. You notice we've discussed cancers, and we've noticed how it has become a serious problem. And so the Ghana Medical Association, which is the voice of all doctors in the country, has seen that this is a very pertinent issue. So every year we discuss pertinent issues and prefer solutions and table them with government and other actors to see how best we can address these issues as our contribution to society. And so this year our focus is on cancers. And then we are talking about the epidemic of cancers in Ghana. And we are addressing increasing access to prevention, early detection, and then treatment. We've noticed that preventive issues are becoming a challenge because majority of these are not covered by health insurance and other payment mechanisms that exist in the country. Out of this, some of the issues we'll be looking at advocating for preventive services to be covered as part of the spectrum, because that in the long term is beneficial to the society in the long run when people see things early. We are also looking at early detection because we have said in our discussion that people need to see it early by way of screening, attending the hospital so that they can treat it early before it becomes advanced. And then the treatment issues. You realize we are talking about Korle Bu, Komfo and major centers. What it means is somebody in Bolga may have to travel so far away to be able to get the care that they need. Somebody in Axim may have to move all the way, and sometimes the cost to this, to the patient, the trauma, the stress that people go through is not a simple matter. And these are some of the issues we'll be discussing. So it's on the 28th of July, the last Friday of the month. It's happening at Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. A section of the public have been invited. Of course, still trying to be in the safe mode. Not everybody is invited, but there is an online participation that is open to the public. On the day, specific links will be shared on our Facebook page. That is the Ghana. When you go on Facebook, just search for Ghana Medical Association and follow the page. We share other educational materials there as well. On the day, the link will be there, and you will see it being streamed live over there. You can also ask questions that will be asked live on the day. Also on our website, GhanaMedASOC.org, it will be streamed there, or in our YouTube channel, which is Ghana Medical Association as well. And it will happen from the morning 9 o'clock to 2 p.m.
That's on the 28th of July.
On the 28th. There will be the lecture section, which will talk generally about male cancers, female cancers, and cancers among children, the common types, what are the signs and symptoms, what can you do to prevent it, and also pick the symptoms up by examining yourself. Then there will be a panel discussion where we will discuss financing it, the problems cancer people living with cancer go through to get care, some of their challenges, emotional, psychological, and then we would also look at financing bit. And we'll have various people on the panel, including the National Health Insurance, a survivor of cancer, to show people that people can go through cancer and survive it and live their normal lives as well.
Who are the speakers and who are going to be on the panel?
So Professor Calistego will be delivering the main keynote address to give a big overview of it. And then we would also have Dr. Connie, who is a gynae oncologist in Komfo Teaching Hospital, who will be addressing the issue about female cancers. Dr. Lawrence Osei Tutu, who is a senior specialist and is specialized in blood cancers, talking about the pediatric cancers. And then Dr. Tampuri, who is a urologist, will be talking about the male cancers. And then we'll have the panel discussion. We have various actors, somebody from the Ministry of Health, one of the directors, Dr. Bafu Ewa, will be there on the panel. A rep from NHIS will be there. We'll also have a cancer survivor being on the panel to share the patient perspective. We don't want it just biased towards on the other side, but we want to hear the other side of the story. What really do they go through going through the journey? What are some of their challenges, the stigma issues, the cost issues, and all that? So that, and then the public are also part of it. You are watching online, but you can send your questions inside. Those in-house can also ask their questions for addressing. And we encourage you all to join in, because these are the discussions. Out of this comes, we develop a policy statement from GMA, which we present to the government and other partners, and sometimes, in fact, a lot of times has informed policy. Some of these public lectures were some of the things that preceded the National Health Insurance coming to being. We've talked about road crashes and other things, and has led to safety improvements in the safety architecture for roads. And we believe that this is an important discussion we should have, and we should all join the advocacy to see how we can make cancer incidents go down, but those who also have it have better care and at least reduce their cost and burden for them.
Great. Anything any of you would want to add? Maybe Dr. Iti or Dr. Boy, you want to add something briefly?
Yes, okay. Just briefly to say that I think Richard mentioned that stigma is one of the issues that usually drives people away from presenting when they have problems. Fear is one of them as well. And I think as much as possible, like to tell people that early detection truly saves lives. So if you can present early for treatment, whatever the problem is, and I'll also like to let them know that there's treatment available in the hospitals, various types of treatment. Sometimes people hear one type, you have to have surgery, then they decide that's it, I'm not going to have surgery for this condition or not. But there are various forms of treatment, various types. When you come to the hospital, the doctors will let you know what the options of treatment are. Lastly, I'd like to say that family support and public support is very important for the patient dealing with cancer. It's a very distressing period in their lives with all sorts of thoughts flooding in. But if they have the support from the family, the church, the mosque, wherever they are, wherever they go, financially or other, it really helps them go through this. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dr.
Yes, children may also develop cancers, unfortunately, and early detection is very important. Support for their families, financial, physical, emotional, very helpful to improve the outcomes and the overall outlook for children who have cancers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hilda Mantibia Boy, who is president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana and a member of the Ghana Medical Association. A big thank you also, Dr. Richard Salome, who is acting general secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, and Dr. Hananago Goyaite, who is a senior specialist radiation clinical oncologist and faculty chairperson, radiology, oncology, and radiotherapy, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, and president of the Breast Society of Ghana, and secretary general of the African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, and a member of the Ghana Medical Association. So in the coming days, we're going to be having a conversation about the head and neck cancer. We'll look at cancer that affects children, women, and men. Stay with us because that's something that we'll be having within the coming days. I'm sure Dr. Richard Salome, this one is we've agreed.
So just if there's anywhere you should be, join our various portals on the 28th of July from 9 to 2. But I would also say that GMA is not doing this alone. Multimedia is supporting us as partners, providing us the platforms, and also will be live streaming it on their various portals. And also want to also say a big thank you to Roche Products Ghana Limited. Roche has been partnering GMA for the past 2 years and bringing some of these public education to Ghanaians. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. Still live here on the Super Morning Show. But let me tell you about Hits 103.9 FM, the official mouthpiece of tertiary institutions, bringing you the Hits Tertiary. Now, Friday, the 21st of July, the Hits Tertiary stops at the Ghana Communication Technology University. Join us as we interact, socialize, and have fun with the students. On Friday, the 21st of July, 2023, from 2 p.m. live on Hits 103.9 FM, there will be loads of fun, entertainment as we deliberate on issues bothering students live on radio. Which tertiary institution do you represent? Watch out for the Hits Tertiary at a campus near you. For enquiries, call 054-010-6467 or 055-969-1.